Divine rise, divine rise. Divine night. Welcome, welcome, one and all, guys and goddesses. I don't know about this weird ass yellow filter they got on my shit. Let the room fill up for a little bit, real quick. As always, like we do at this time, welcome to another Friday night lecture with your ever gracious host at the moment, the Gotical Alchemist. As you come in, drop the maches. I'm putting the links up a little later for what we're going into next. Tonight we are going to get into the theory of relativity, the engine or the chaos, and understanding your energy and your part in it all. Are you serving or are you ruling? If you're ruling, you have to understand what it is that you're ruling and what you're taking over. If you're serving, you have to understand what you're serving under. These are the two main parts of anything. There's two sides of anything. There's two sides. It's understanding the duality of what you're going to do with it once you have it. A lot of us ask for so many different things in our lives, but I just broke down to one of my Facebook friends on there, and the queen was like, that part about willing to sacrifice. And as you coming into this new level, it's about that. What are you willing to sacrifice? What you have sacrificed before to get you what you're getting now? Is it worth holding on to that same thought process or control of what you had in yourself? What are you truly holding on to? Like the first full moon of this decade, as they're displaying it tonight, the first full moon of the decade. I wrote it down. Tonight, January 10th, 2020, a rare full moon eclipse will occur, unlike the typical full moon, which is useful in releasing. The first full moon eclipse of the decade brings realization and energy needed to reach levels of success we have never reached, bringing old cycles finally ending, lessons from the past concluding, past negative karma cleared, old patterns and limiting beliefs in no sense or more, moving forward to our divine life purposes, the ability to manifest significant positive life changes, new realizations, new blessings, and so on and so forth. But with that, as I always break down, we're going to break down in the night is, what are you holding on to and why are you holding on to it? Meaning, as you're getting higher into yourself and you're coming into these newer levels of yourself, the things that are challenging you or the things that are going to challenge you are the things that are needed to be let go of. The negatives come before the positives, before your positive shift or your elevation on that level. What are you willing to, you sacrifice for your soul? However that Big Sean song goes. What are you willing to sacrifice for this life that you are going to? What are you willing to let go of to take yourself to the next level? That next level is going to require more of yourself. One thing that I've come to notice, even in my moving forward and things, your life is going to require a different level of yourself that you're not privy to experience to. Meaning, the old things that you used to do The old things that were a part of your life and always a part of you, like that became a part of you, became signatures. They became energy signatures to your energy. It became signatures to your energy, like your signature laugh, and somebody. The things that are used to mark you or keep you remembered in this level are going to start falling apart. Everything at this level is doing what it's supposed to do. You're not going to be at this level, this next level that you're going to. That's anybody says about the universe don't give a shit about your car. The universe don't give a shit about your house. The universe don't give a shit about any of these material things. The biggest vex for spirituality is materialism. Getting stuck in the materialism is getting stuck in that cipher, in that space that you need to learn how to fight out of. In that by itself is a very, for some of us, a very major thing that we won't let go of. Because you're still thinking on the level, we're still teetering between, we want to teeter between humanity and ego. And the goal is to understand your humanity and understand your ego to take yourself in here all day. To understand your humanity and your ego in order to lay them to waste. You have to lay you have to lay your old self to waste. I've said that before. I've said that before in many talks and many lectures. Your level where you're at right now is going to require more sacrifice. What are you willing to sacrifice? What are you invoking your energy into? Because this is how this works. This is how this level works. This is how every level works. You're either going to be fed upon, you either live long enough to be the hero, you either live long enough being the hero in your story, or you die to become the villain in somebody else's. Or you live long enough to become the villain in somebody else's. You either live long enough to be the hero of your own story, the mortar in your own story, or you become the villain, or you live long enough to become the villain in somebody else's. So I'm the villain in somebody else's story. I'm the villain in a lot of other people's story. Their story, they're dealing with me. The reason I'm the villain in their story is because there's no more benefit from me. I destroyed the humanity aspect of myself and the egotistical part of myself. So there's nothing for them to feed, and there's nothing for them to feed. There's nothing for them to put guilt on. There's nothing for them to guilt trip. There's nothing for them to feed. There's nothing for them to appease. You get to a level in yourself where, especially with the sacred, like all your energy is sacred. So you're going to get to that space in your life where the things you used to do, I equate this to high school. The high school head that you were given to your dude ain't going to work no more. That high school level, the shit you learn on that high school level ain't up here in this college level. It ain't up here in this finishing school level. It ain't up here in this level of this mystery school for yourself. So one thing that we get stuck on a lot of the times is, well, what about everything I made there? Everything you made in the space that you're now no longer at or you're going from is going to sustain itself based on its memory and it's what's in its subconscious about you. Everything at the level that you are leaving will be sustained by the memory and the impact that you left there. Everything that my mother remembers about me sustains my memory of my old self. She has all the memory of my old self. I'm not going back there. I don't have to, because she has everything she needs in that space required of my old self. In order to get to this level where I'm at now, she has to open herself up. My mother will have to open herself up to this level of my light. But in order to open herself up to this level of light that I'm on, she has to open herself up to the level that is needed to that formula. She needs to plug into that formula, into that variable to herself to unlock to get to this level of understanding. That's not up to me. That's not up to anybody outside of her other than her. Everybody's not coming. It takes a lot of energy and a lot of power to get to this level. And I broke that down in the podcast this week. It takes a lot of power to get to this level. And it's going to require a lot more to get to the next level. Good thing is, the positive thing is, you got all that power. That power is within inside you. The negative aspect of it is what you got to do to get there. Where are you stuck at? What keeps resonating the strongest in your life that you need to understand? These are the questions that every time you get to, it's the same, it can be the same set of questions to start off every level. Well, okay, every time you like walking into a video game, you walk into Call of Duty, you playing God of War. Every time you get to each level, the first thing I do when I was playing God of War all the damn time is, for no fucking reason, I sit there and play with all of Kratos' weapons to make sure they were all charged, make sure everything was in place where it needed to be at. And then I checked out the scene, checked out my environment, then I checked out the scenery, then I checked out what I had to look for, and then I proceeded to go into the next level. Same shit with your fucking life. Everything is everything. All this shit is coded. All this shit is coded with the very things that are needed to assist you and teach you, as well as the very things, the same things that are going to teach you, because it's all about duality, understanding both sides. The same things that are going to teach you and aid you and help you evolve and help you reach enlightenment and help you reach your next level of awakening. On that other hand, on that other side, are the very things that are going to hold you back, that are going to hinder you, and that's ultimately going to feed upon you. On us level, it's the archons. We'll get more into that. The archons, the demiurge that created this level, need your power to sustain this level. So they took the esoteric science of your divine self and made it exoteric. And then used it against you. You're a human. You're a god. You're a chaos being. You're a titan. You're older than that. You're older than that. You're the original primordial. You're the original primordial power source and energy and construct that forgot that you were that. You went to sleep and had amnesia. As you're awakening on these levels to yourself, these things become unlocked. Some things are easier than others. Some people have easier times finding their psychic abilities than others. Some people have more easier time finding certain knowledge than others. But that means you died with more. You died knowing more than your last time here. For others, there's some people that were sitting here and there's some people that got stuck here. Trial and error. I was one of the ones that got sent back. I got sent back. I know that by the level of clarity I have of my memories of my birth, the level of clarity of my understanding of certain things that have happened in my life that led me to this point. That's up to you to go through that shadow work. That's why that shadow work is so important in tapping into yourself and unlocking those. What cipher are you stuck on? The biggest thing for me now is understanding energy more. So like something as simple as hearing or seeing. So I'll always see things regarding to retrograde and zodiacs and this aspect of that. For me, every time, but what makes it easier for me is every time I approach a level, I approach it with the same mindset or the same conduits of the mindset that I had when I came into the level saying that I was a god. I can't approach this as a human. The level of shit the shit that I've seen, the shit that I've gone through, the shit that has brought me to the level that I'm at, lets me know that I'm not fucking human. I had those imaginative childlike thoughts of not being human when I was little, when I was younger. Those shits reactivate. I was like, damn, that every thought that I had to revalidate for myself. You going through these levels is the validation of yourself. When you step into these realms as a servant, and it's okay, if that makes you feel good, that makes you feel good. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But if you enter these realms as a servant, understand that you're circumventing your energy, your power, to something else. That's similar to if you see a lot of people like, we need a black leader, we need a black leader, we need a black leader, and da 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 da. I started looking into deeper. I started meditating and going deeper into the demises of certain leaders and when they passed and how they passed and the craziness of what happened in their lives, what they impacted, their impact, and all these things. When you step into these realms, when you make that agreement at the level that you come in at, you must abide by that contract that you signed. When you come into these realms, when you come into these higher levels, when you come into these levels of yourself, you must subject yourself to the contract and the agreement that you signed. That contract and agreement is based on your intentions. It's based on your intentions and based on your intentions and your affirmations, your goals, what you want it for. Because on both sides, everything's going to have duality on it. So something as simple as if I was to be an aspiring rapper, say I want to be an aspiring rapper, and I just wanted to be famous. I wanted to get my story out there. I wanted to be famous. I wanted to tell my story. If I stood in the truth of me telling my story, my path would be one way. If I'm willing to, but if my undertones of my intention in telling my story and getting into this entertainment realm is to make money, is to get notoriety and get fame, I'm going in as a servant. Your first steps in any path, you know what you going in there as. You going in as a servant, or you going in as a god? Are you going in as a student of yourself, or are you going in as a student of somebody else? Are you studying or are you following? Are you studying or are you following? I don't follow anyone. I want no one to follow me. I want anybody that comes into the contact with me as a teacher to study me, to study with me, to study beside me, to gain understanding with me, to become equal as me. I don't want anybody to follow me, because to follow me is to appease my ego and to make my ego get larger. And then I'm weighed down by my ego. And then I have to care about the things that I say to you, the things that I present things to you. I have to present them. I have to candy coat everything. I've said it before. I'm not looking for the safe way. I'm not looking for the peaceful way. Because my definition of peace and how I define peace is different than how others would define peace. Some people define peace as equality with the undertones of equality and unity. My peace is in solitude. My peace is in solitude. If there's a bunch of noise around me, I close the door. There's noise around, I close the door and I shut myself in. Some people want to have peace of mind. They just want to have a peace of mind at a certain point in time. I want peace regardless for myself. And I will do anything to achieve my peace. Anything that serves me to attain my peace of mind for me, for myself, as I rise and evolve, I'm willing and open to doing. I'm willing and open to learning. That's that aspect for yourself. A lot of the times we're getting stuck in this, man, I want unity for my people. But you're not willing to do anything that is built in the unity of your people. Your house is not in order. So if your house is not in order, and I'm talking about your temple, yourself is not in order, and you're the only thing that is important, everything that is a reflection of you will show lack of peace or disarray. Everything that comes into your path is going to be on disarray. It's going to be chaotic. It's going to be something that's going to gravitate towards keeping you locked into that humanity aspect of yourself of what peace is for a human. Peace for a human is different than peace for a God. War is different for, on the higher levels, how everything translates down here. Biggest thing about that. The wars, the calamity, the shooting, the killings, all this mass murder, all this mass hysteria that's going on. That's needed for it. It's a shift. It's causing a shift. Down here on this lower level in vibration, we're able to see it happening. We're able to see it, but we're seeing it, and the reaction is emotional. Shit going on in your life right now. Shit can be going on in your life right now. Your life can be in fucking disarray and turmoil right now. Turmoil right now. But that's when your disciplines kick in. All that meditation went out the window when something bad happened in your life. Your man cheated on you. All that meditation went out the window when you saw that man in there in the room, balls deep in your best friend. All that meditation go out the window. All those mantras go out the window. So how disciplined are you really to yourself? You reacting off of emotion. That's similar to in Wanted when he told him to shoot the wings off the flies. And the first thing he said he needed was his pills. He said, no, you don't. You just need to focus. There's a reason underlining where they had Morgan Freeman do that. Say that. They had Morgan Freeman say these certain parts. When you want to break it down towards any movie, we can be the gods of men. What they were showing you is you're a god thinking as a human instead of moving as a god. So the things that bog down humanity in you are going to are the things that are going to block you from becoming a god. So that theory of relativity, what you're invoking your power into, becomes in the physical. What you're evoking, when you're invoking and bringing your power down into this source, what are you invoking it into? Think about how much power you have, how much power someone has over you. They have your attention. They don't really have power over you. They have mind control over you, over your attention. And since you're the source of power, you're the sum of all fears. Surprise, you're the sum of all fears. You're the sum of all the power. They need your power for that shit to work. They don't care what the distraction brings, as long as it's bringing forth as long as it's taking your mind off of what you need to be doing, it's working. Even for a millisecond. And you want to talk about constraints of time, even if it's for a second. It's like if you doze off on the road, if you on the road and you doze off for a second, you can end up in a ditch. Right now, we comatose on the road. So we don't know if we in a ditch. We don't know how far we've driven off the fucking road. We don't know how far we've driven off of our own path. That's where you get lost at. That's where your discomfort and your confidence is being lacking at. How confident are you in yourself? What are you willing to let go of? But I have children. Okay. You have children. That's nice. Ask yourself, are you teaching your children to survive? Are you teaching your children to survive, or are you teaching your children to evolve? Are you following the same shit your grandmother, your mother, your father, your grandfather, your great uncle, your family been doing for years? Or are you doing something more? What are you willing to sacrifice? Everything on the higher level, as above, so below. That's the mindset you put. That's the program that into your subconscious, as above, as below. So if you got kids down here in the physical, that means you got kids somewhere up there in the spiritual plane. Now your kids in the spiritual plane can be different than the kids you have down here, because they're gonna be in spiritual form. Just like somebody that has a business and they call their business their baby, their car their baby, their house the love of their life. You invoked your energy into that being a representative of something in your life as a reflection of something that you love. So if I sit here and I say, my phone is my baby, I love my phone. You dig? If I say I love my phone, I have to accept the negatives and the positives that come with me saying I love my phone. So I love my phone. I love my phone. I love my phone. I have to accept the negative that if I don't charge my phone up in the beginning of the day or whenever it's going dead, that bitch dead. How much do I love my phone really? Do I take care of my phone like I take care of myself? Do I feed my phone like I feed myself? Do I feed my phone the same? Does my phone acquire, what does my phone take in and digest in its stores that is the same as it goes into my mind, into my body? I use my phone from everything from countless emails, consultations, editing, lectures, notes. I use my phone for all of those things. But I also use myself. So it's a reflection of me. I understand it's a reflection of me. Therefore, it's not, I don't need it. It's just an addition to me. It's an addition. I don't need my phone. It's an addition to me. We're getting stuck on these aspects like someone to be like, I need to light 1,000,000 candles. You don't need to light 1,000,000 candles. The candles are an addition to helping you focus on your manifestation and your intentions. They're tools. We're getting so stuck in the tools that we're forgetting how to do the work. The tool aids you in your work, but you still have to do the work. If I invoke all of my energy into my phone and I lose my phone tonight, I go out and go for a walk or go whatever in the morning, I go and I lose my phone tonight, I'm lost without my fucking phone. Because I haven't saved not one fucking phone number. I have no number in my memory. All my Lyft and my Uber information is in my phone. All my email addresses and passwords are in my phone. You see how you set yourself up? By putting so much emphasis on something outside of yourself, you forget to do the work to empower yourself to do it. Now, for me, in my divine mind, I remember every number that I need to remember that's in my phone that's of importance. I remember everything that's in my phone that's of importance. For the stuff that's a little more lengthy, I have notes. I have my books. I have my notepads. I have all of my grimoires. I have everything that I need to remember everything that I can go to. Go back to the old school, write it down, read it in my book. So what are you invoking your power into? Either consciously or unconsciously. A lot of the things that we're doing now at this level, when you get into a higher level, you start doing more shit consciously, but some stuff the stuff that you were doing so unconsciously that was actually a positive aspect of yourself, you're doing more of. Now you're leaving waste for the things that you're doing unconsciously. What can you do unconsciously? The key to understanding to move the spoon is to say that there's no spoon. You have to be open on a level of vulnerability without fear. Some people still fear motherfucking death. You still fear dying. You still fear losing. You still feel failure. You still fear failure. You still fear rejection. I don't fear none of that shit. I don't fear being rejected. I don't fear being misunderstood. Because I understand in duality, in order for me to be understood and open to a level, I must be misunderstood at another level. I saw a post that had Farrakhan that said, "Don't trust a man that has no enemies." Who said he didn't have any enemies? So that's more of that human shit. I don't have any enemies. Because there's no enemies within me, myself. I don't have any trust issues. Because inside me, I trust myself wholeheartedly. I can weigh my heart to a feather. Because I understand that all these human burdens that I acquired on my rise into where I got to are not on me. They're on the person that I had to kill off. They're on the one that had to die. He died. Charlie Boy died. That's probably the first and the last time you actually hear any remnant of my original name. You have to stand by your shit at all fucking costs. From my spiritual names and add-ons, I stand by those at all fucking costs. When I go to my job, anybody that deals with me on a normal basis will announce me as Lucy or Lucifer. I took Lucy from when he was saying that in the Netflix, in that show on Netflix. Lucifer. They'll call me Lucy. They'll call me Sandy. Those are motherfuckers that fuck with me. The dead motherfuckers can call me whatever the fuck they want. Because that's their depth of perception of me. That's how they know me as. In that realm, that's what I am there. In this realm, I'm something else. I'm everything and nothing at the same time. That level of understanding yourself invokes your power into the love and the validation of yourself that takes you to the next level. All energy is sacred. Your energy is sacred on all levels. So every exchange of your energy rewards a result. Every cause has an effect, and every effect has a cause. Everything vibrates. What level are you vibrating at for the shit that... The only way something can get to you is if you're vibrating on that level. That's the only way some shit that can get to you. 2 weeks ago, I was going through one of my last transitions from fully absorbing chaos being Titan energy of myself and straying away from the last remnants of my humanity. In letting go of these aspects of your humanity, you're letting go at all costs. So when I say to somebody that talks to me about their problems or their issues, man, my kids are doing this and my man did this and my girl ain't acting right. Fuck that bitch. Fuck that nigga. Fuck them kids. Fuck your mother. Fuck your pops. Fuck them. I just spit light to them. Now their level of understanding and interpretation of that, they will do what thou wilt. But to the ones that understand where I'm coming from on that level, those are the ones that will gravitate. That means they're gravitating to the level they need to get to because they needed to hear that. That's that synchronization. The level that you're going to is going to require you to be more open to the unexplainable. It's going to require you to be in a mindset to go to a level that is beyond what you've ever seen, heard, felt, or been through. It's going to activate a different set of traumas within you. It's going to activate those triggers of those traumas, of those negatives, in order to propel you to your positive. It has to happen. Change is inevitable. Your evolution is that part that you need to focus on. The change is going to happen regardless. Shit's going to shift and turn itself to another face so you stay there. Or you're going to evolve to another level of a different set of changes. Shit that has to change in that level. What cipher are you stuck in? Some people are stuck in that cipher of humanity and that cipher of ego. So everything that's produced, if you take two circles, you put them together, and they start coming together like this, you get a vesica. And you get this, you get a portal. So humanity and ego, here's humanity, here's ego, come together, they create a portal. So everything that's spoken into this portal powers this portal to create more humanity and ego-based issues, problems in your life. This is that portal. Your job is to step back and understand both sides of this portal. Understand the alchemical process used to create this portal. Unconsciously, you know every part of this portal. Unconsciously. You just got to get into your subconscious. Burning the house. You want to burn the fucking house. You want a wasteland that's decorated with pretty trees. You want a wasteland that is powered by niggas driving around in fucking 300s and S-classes and navigators and Escalades, saying that's the level that shows my level of success by the car that I drive. Even with the car that you fucking drive, the car that you drive doesn't define you. It's the ability to maintain what you're driving. That's how you create those shells. It don't give a fuck what the fuck you drive. It's your ability to maintain it that defines your power. So you get to a level where you've learned everything you needed to learn at that level to maintain it. Then it starts challenging you. How strong are you really? How powerful are you really? You came to this level and you said you were a god. Okay, cool. It's time for us to test the gods. You came to this level and you said you were a titan. Let's test the titans. The demiurge, you either become the demiurge and understanding it, submitting to the attributes of what the demiurge is to understand it, to bypass it, or you become the attributes of the demiurge to serve it. So what in your life are you fucking serving? I serve nothing in my fucking life. Nothing. I serve nothing in my life. I'm at service to nothing in my life. Everything in my life serves me. In that duality, therefore the reflection, we serve one another. This is a service. We're servicing one another. I'm giving you this knowledge to apply. I'm learning how to better serve my interpretations. It's duality. We're not following, we're studying. We're not following, we're studying. You have to take out of your mind this following aspect. You have to take out of your mind this thought process of following something or wanting something or needing something, because it's going to leave you locked into this entity, these archons, these entities around you for you to be fed upon. Let's go back to that, going into the music business, entertainment. There is a level, whether are you going to serve it? When you serve something, you are now open to everything of you being in the front page. Everything of you will be seen because you're serving it. What you're serving needs service. It needs you to have an opening to availability to you to put you on the front stage, to make you stay relevant. It needs every aspect of you to stay relevant. As a God, you only get what I give you. That's that duality aspect. You only get what I give you. You only get what I deem worthy for you to know. You only get what I deem worthy for you to be nourished upon. If I give you too much, you will surpass me. Thou shalt not have any other gods before me. I am a jealous God. You getting stuck on the aspect saying, I'm a jealous God. So you say, fuck that guy, fuck Jesus. At the level that I'm at, I'm not going to say, at the level when I was at that level, yeah, I was like, fuck Jesus too. But at the level that I'm at now, so I can't say fuck Jesus because I'm the Christ. I'm the anointed one. So to say fuck Jesus, I would say being fucked myself. To say fuck Allah, we're saying I'm fucked myself. I'm the 99 attributes of Allah. That's what I have to understand to break that cipher. If I came in as a Muslim, I came in as a Catholic. So I had to understand all the aspects of Catholicism and Judaism and Islam. I had to understand these citharas so I didn't get stuck in them. So I wouldn't get stuck in the trauma or the fear if something happened. If something happened to me tomorrow, I know it's of my own accord. I take accountability fully within whatever happens tomorrow. Tomorrow never comes any fucking way. So whatever happens in that motherfucking moment, I have to understand that in that moment, I must take full accountability for my reaction, my actions, my causes that cause the effects and the consequences of everything that I do. If I'm not willing to do that, I'm not going to go there. I do what I want. It takes a lot more discipline than doing what the fuck you can. A lot of people, a lot of niggas right now, they're doing what they can based on the amount of knowledge that they have succumbed themselves to. So if I sit here, I'm like, I'm a Kemite. Yeah. Team Osiris, rock my uncle all day, man. You can't tell me nothing about myself. I must accept the negatives and the positives of what that story is. I must accept that the attributes of Set were broken down into Osiris, Anpu, Haru, all of them are breakdowns of the original. I'm an original. So to understand my original, these broken fragments are what I have to go through first to understand my original self, my origins of myself. That's how I unlock the next level of myself. That's how I break through these jail balls that are around me. That's how I can do what I want. Because until I do that, I'm only doing what I can at that level. So now I can move around the board freely with no problem, no issue, no concern on the human level. What will my mother think of me? What will my father think of me? Your father turning over in your grave, boy. No, he isn't. My father was a chaos being at the motherfucking best. At his motherfucking best, he was a cooking chaos being. My father was my father was the poppy that these motherfuckers in these rap songs talking about you had to go get something to sniff from. He was one of them poppies. So he lived in that chaos. And he transitioned in that chaos. He transitioned in when he was stepping away from that realm. When he started getting more spiritual. When he started reading more and acquiring the knowledge of himself. When he was understanding the diaspora of the Taino Indians were the basis of this black and nigga, that's what a Puerto Rican is, or the blood of you is African. When he started doing that, those entities that he once fed, because my pops was always a god. He was always a priest. He was always high ranking to himself. High ranking. So when he stopped serving the entities and those archons and those devils at the demiurges at that level, he had to accept that he was going to transition. My father laid on his deathbed in 2003 and told me that I was a king. There's another level after that, and there's many more levels after that. But right now, you're a king. My eyes have closed. When my eyes close, you're gonna hold that crown. I can't tell you not to take that. I cannot tell you not to put that crown on, but I can tell you don't be like me. You told me to put the crown on, but not to be like him. In my humanity and ego and my grief, I became just like my pops and succeeded my pops because I learned everything from him and I learned how to go further. I learned that thought, since that was implanted in my mind, everything my pops showed me, everything my uncle showed me, everything my family showed me at that time was implanted into my subconscious. I unconsciously manifested my own environment, own reality based on whatever I knew. So I became naturally the best because I was always ahead. That goes back to my birth, even though it took 18 hours of labor for me to be born premature and my twin brother didn't make it. My grandmother said she had an entire vision of the fight between my brother in the womb and me in the womb, and I consumed my brother. Because at that age, I knew I needed more fucking power. At that age, I knew I needed more motherfucking power. Going through my entire childhood, anytime I did not deem anything that was worthy of my attention anymore, I threw it away. There was a time when my pops, was burning leaves in the backyard. And I walked out there with my little wagon, with all of my bottles, all of my sippy cups, all of my pacifiers, all my baby shit that I, as a baby, and I walked it out there and I looked him in the face. He said I nodded to him. He nodded back to me, and I threw my shit into the fucking fire. I walked back into the house. My mom came home from grocery shopping, and I'm sitting on the porch. I'm sitting on the couch. My pops is sitting there watching me with a cup in my hand. And my mom's like, where are all his bottles? He threw them away. What is he going to drink out of? He's drinking out of it right now. Based on his level of perception, there's things that he couldn't explain. My pops. Based on their level of perception, there's things that they couldn't explain. So I knew then that there's going to be times where I'm the only one that I can depend on to get this information. I'm the only one that I can depend on to get this knowledge. I'm the only one to depend on to get this work. I knew that at a younger age. I always knew it unconsciously. Now I know it consciously. That's that shift. That's that turning one switch on, turning one switch off. A lot of us are getting stuck in these stages in ourselves where we don't know what to turn off because we're scared of what we're going to lose when we turn off the switch. But I'm going to lose the money I was making at my job. I can't go on my job looking like this. Submit to the attributes of the ideal so you can better move. That's the servant approach. I could walk into my job now, and over the last couple of months, I've cut my hours down. As before, I was fucking afraid to cut my fucking hours. Man, where am I gonna get my money from if I cut my hours? You cannot live in two spaces. You can't live in two houses. So I can't put all of my energy, I can't put half of my energy over here and half of my energy over here. I can't put half of my energy into the human shit and then half of my energy into my God shit and expect to create anything out of my God shit that's greater than the shit in my human shit. It's going to be balanced off. And then I'm going to be torn in between, fighting between this and this. Fighting on what human aspects I need and want and what God aspects I need and want. The key is to understand your human self, your human aspects, in order to unlock your God aspects of yourself. Battling back and forth, following the birds of a feather, stepping out, I'm going to go get a reading from here, I'm going to go do this over here, maybe I'm going to go talk this, they know this, and this. They always give me something that always sounds good. They always give me exactly what I need to hear. That's nice. A true reader is going to tell you things that you will not understand. A true reader will tell you things that you're not going to understand. They're not going to tell you yes, no. They're not going to tell you maybe so's and maybe this might work for you. Or no, maybe you should do more of this. They're not going to tell you anything outside of the realm of what is you. Living in that level and space of consciousness is hard for a lot of people. What the hell did I do? Wrong music stop. What did I do? Yeah, let's go here. Let's do that. Your level of understanding of yourself, I brought that down last week. Your level of understanding of yourself and the love of yourself is going to challenge your compatibility with everything else around you. So everything that you used to hold sacred, you have to understand that, and I said this a little earlier in a brief talk. It's not the question of them knowing who you are. It's about you knowing who you are and what you're willing to let go of to invoke your energy into something stronger. I invoke my energy into myself because everything that me being this being, becoming that prism, that bearer of light, everything that my light goes into is a true form of true heart, mind, is true of heart of me. So what will be exposed to me is the very truth that I need to see, either to navigate closer to or to navigate away from. Everybody ain't going where you're going. Everybody ain't going where you're going. Everybody ain't on the same path that you're on. That's why I stress this unity shit. I'm not going to put myself into a mindset of being unified on the level of understanding from a human perspective. Because there's shit that I say that humans just aren't going to get. It took me a long time to battle between that. It took a lot of work of me going between that just to be strong enough to even speak half of the shit that I speak. It took a lot of fucking work. It took a lot of fucking power for me to speak the shit that I speak at the times that I speak it. It took a level of confidence in myself and competence it took a level of confidence and competence, not incompetence, and competence in myself to be able to speak. Yes, you owe yourself that energy. And change the name again. You're going to get to a point where you're going to go into that hermit stage. I'm going into that hermit stage again. But now I'm understanding that at this level of me going into that hermit stage, I understand projecting my light body out into the realms. Once you understand your light, you know, when I posted the swastika, the understanding your angles of light. Once you understand the angles of light, you're able to once you understand the elements, you're able to use the elements. Truly. I'm not talking about on no petty fucking shit. We got it. Like a lot of people get stuck on the petty shit of doing this shit with their magic of themselves, and they're implementing. All you're doing is you're invoking your energy into something that's lesser than you. So you're giving something a tether to you. So are you serving or are you? This is why motherfuckers go through that serving shit. Any motherfucker that sits there in an aspect and will tell you like, yo, I can help you do a spell on somebody and they'll leave you alone or hate you or whatever. You gotta be careful with that shit. Because now you're serving yourself. You're serving yourself to be served. You're serving yourself to be served. My pops used to always say, and like no matter, and another thing about acquiring knowledge, it comes from all sources. And I think someone that said even God used demons to do his work. That's more allegory for yourself. You use your light and your dark and you wield your shit. So at a point in time, my pops was like, you got to be careful in the shit that you get into, because once these demons get on you, they're going to want to keep playing. And you ain't going to be able to get them off because you ain't strong enough. So he gave me good with bad. I went further as I got into my spiritual work, as I got older into myself now, and I understand I control my demons and I control my angels. I control my angels of light. I invoke my angels of light into my demons or my intelligences of myself or my magics of myself, the conduits of myself, in nociferous. Some people are still stuck on chakras. My chakras, I got to get my chakras in alignment, girl. What do you do after you get them in alignment? You become a slave to your chakra system? Damn, that's coming. That's... Girl, I need to get this retrograde, this moon energy got me feeling real steamy and real motherfucking horny right now. All right. You're going to have that feeling at all levels. What are you doing with that power when it comes? What are you doing with the power when it comes and it comes up when it comes to you? Are you allowing it to possess you so you can use? Are you allowing it to possess you in an aspect that you use it? Or are you allowing it to? Are you using it possessing? Are you using it to possess you as in invoking it and invoking your next level of creativity or creation? Or are you allowing it to possess you so you can better serve it? It's all about that serving yourself. Are you serving? Or are you ruling? Are you allowing your emotions to rule you? Or are you ruling over them? Every aspect when it comes to, especially in astrology, when they talk about the moon, they talk about the planets, Uranus and Saturn in this house, and that's just you in a different house. Instead of saying, oh my God, that's why I'm acting like this. No, Becky, you a fucking asshole. That's why you being a Scorpio has nothing to do with the shit that you're doing. We need to take ourselves out of this mindset of, I do this because of this, because it better serves me at that point in time. That's what serves me there. So now I have a scapegoat. No, accountability of your action and what you're doing is based in the understanding of what you're doing when you do it. A lot of us will get stuck in, myself included, I got stuck on every characteristic of an Aquarius, and that shit reflected in every relationship that I had, either in relation to family members, friendships, love interest. I use those as my background. Well, you know I'm an Aquarius, so I'm detached. You know I'm an Aquarius, so I'm devoid of emotion. I used it where it benefited me. But when it didn't benefit me, I would get upset. See, that's why I can't date you. I can't date you Aquariuses, because y'all are this, and that, and above. I can't date no Taurus. I won't date no Taurus, man. It ain't got nothing to do with that motherfucking zodiac. It got everything to do with that motherfucking inner workings. The reason that you keep getting shown a Taurus and there are you get shown a fucking Taurus or a Gemini or whatever sign they may be, but they're a fucking narcissist. It isn't because they're a fucking Gemini or a fucking Taurus or a fucking Scorpio that they're a fucking narcissist. They're a fucking narcissist based on the traumas in their fucking, based on their inner fucking workings. What works for them? You're just invoking your energy. You're now invoking your energy into that so they can use that as their mask instead of understanding it. But in the beginning, he was like this, and he was like that, and he was like this, and he was like this. And there were so many positive things that I look for towards in him. But now he's devoid of emotion. He doesn't want to touch me. He doesn't want to be around me anymore. Why? What am I doing? On one page, maybe you sounding the way you're fucking sounding and a lack of confidence in yourself. You're showing a lack of confidence in yourself. You're either showing a lack of confidence in yourself that attracted somebody to you, or you're showing more confidence in yourself that's attracted something to you. What I mean by that is some people look for your light and sustain your light where you're at. They'll sustain your addiction to something or other. If you're in that realm of addictions, and all these are different realms and different ciphers that you get stuck in until you understand them. You're in that realm of addiction. You replace one addiction for another. That's why they give you the PAM, and they say once an addict, always an addict. Because at this level, in this conduit of this level for this realm, you got to be addicted to something. So, as above, as below, I'm addicted to acquiring more knowledge. So every level that trickles it down to, I'm expunging the knowledge from it because of my addiction to knowledge. If it has no more knowledge, I can now, but now since I understand that in that trickle down method, when that shit no longer serves me, I can put it away. I don't need it anymore. On to the next one. Wait till I do something next. Wait till I do something new. Synonymous with my chief character traits of being an Aquarius. I don't like restriction. So I understand that trait of being an Aquarius. But I also understand my traits in the Taurus zodiac, being steadfast and stubborn and stuck in a certain realm of myself. So I stay earth. I'm just in the earth realm. So everything's about being grounded. All the earth signs are about being grounded. I understand all the air signs are about moving and grow and flowing. I understand all the fire signs are about burning and bringing in anew. I understand all the water signs are about nurturing, but they're also about drowning out and cleansing. You have to understand that each sign, each set of signs is a different cithra for you to understand. So when you keep getting shown, I don't know why I keep attracting Taurus men. I don't know why I keep attracting these fucking Scorpio bitches. I hate them Scorpio bitches. You're going to keep getting Scorpio-like minded entity type bitches because you haven't yet understood what you needed to understand. You're going to keep getting niggas like Trump because you're failing to understand what this motherfucker represents. I said the shit before Barack Obama got fucking inaugurated, before he was even, when he was on the presidential campaign. That nigga is not going to be what you think he is. I didn't understand what the fuck I meant when I said it in that fucking time, but that was some deep shit when I said it. Now I understand through listening to Bobby Hemmett lectures, being in alignment with that synchronization, Bobby Hemmett lectures, Phil Valentine lectures, listening to these lectures, grabbing the books that they would say, reading these different books, accepting the downloads, reading different shit. I understood what Barack Obama meant. Him coming into power on this physical realm was meaning that we were finally coming back online, because it was never about Barack. It was about Michelle. The first, they even gave her FLOTUS. Or FLOTUS, whatever the acronym was. The most elegant goddess walking in the White House ever. Before that, all them bitches looked like mud ducks and fucking Betty White. After her, now they back to being sluts. That space is, that's showing you on this level that this space is over for you. Anything you want to acquire at this level is not going to fucking fathom at this fucking level. This shit is over. They put exactly back, and that's when you see Trump in the White House. You see a tyrant, a narcissist, all of his traits. Look at all the traits that this motherfucker is. His first lady was a fucking call girl, prostitute, porn star. That's what they're willing to accept in this realm. That's what they're willing to accept in this realm. That's what's needed in this realm. And then look at everything else around it. It's been being played out in your fucking face the entire fucking time. Now they give you Surviving R. Kelly. They show you what it is. Once you're in this, you must stay in this, and you must apply the agreements that you got to apply to in your contract. Keep your contract, nigga. You got to do what the fuck we say. Because the demiurge and the archons at this level, once an archon, you ain't changing shit at this fucking level. And you can see that shit when they show you the whole Bill Cosby shit that happened. And then right behind that, every other black comic, and comics are like memes. Barter Panda breaks that down in the Eternal You. Then niggas are like memes. They're used as conduits to keep you looking at humanity. White people do this. Black people do that. You ever notice black girls do this? And they show everything black girls do? You ever know niggas do this? Yeah, and they always give some funny ass stupid shit? It's to keep you entranced, because it's like, damn, I've done that before. You don't do all of that shit. Panic broke that down. You don't do all of that shit, but you do enough of that shit for it to equate. You do enough of it for it to be equated to you being you here, for you being human. See, they understand us. They let him put that on TV. Once again, how real are you? How fucking real are you? How much of a real nigga are you if your image is on fucking TV every fucking weekend, every fucking primetime television? How acceptable? You're not real. You're just acceptable. You're just accepted. They've accepted you as you. As long as you accept yourself as the role that I'm giving you, you're okay. You'll get everything that you need. I'll give you everything that you need and you want. If you want more, you have to sacrifice more. What are you willing to sacrifice? That made me look back at the Dave Chappelle shit. Right before Dave Chappelle got that Netflix money, my nigga ended up having to go on fucking Saturday Night Live and reactivate all of his characters, his old characters that he killed when he said he wasn't doing the Chappelle show no more. Right after that, he got his Netflix money. Eddie Murphy did the same shit. Did all his old characters, Buckwheat and all them shits. To say, damn, I have to play this game in order to live here. You have a whole fucking get out of jail free card. It's called their arrogance. They studied you. That's how they know what to do and how to say it and when to say it and when to appease. They know how to appease you. They know how to give you. They know how to strike fear into you. They know how to appease you. They know how to do everything they need to do to feed upon you. They know how to feed you. They know how to clothe you. They know you need shelter. They know everything that you need, and they'll give it to you at a price. You got to pay attention to the shit we talking about. You got to do this. You got to do that. These are the rings that you got to jump through in order to get what we're giving you. Go to your job tomorrow and just even if you sat there, tomorrow I speak so much shit in light, and my shit's so fucking, you can't even get to me the way they can't even get to me the way that they get to other people. They can't even get to me. The shit that I say, the shit that I speak, the level of energy and the power that I wield of me understanding myself, they can't even get to me like they get to normal motherfuckers. Unexplainable shit. Still can't explain some of that shit. These motherfuckers can't say shit to me. I can literally walk up to somebody. I can walk into a motherfucker at my job right now and say some outlandish shit. Stop it. You can't say that. Yeah, you're right. I'm going to go back about my business. Two sides of that same coin. They're willing to bypass the shit I do that expresses what I am to gain the access to my abilities of what I do in that space. That's a level of confidence. That's that Godfidence I keep talking about. How confident are you in yourself that you can walk into a space and they cannot tell you no, even though they may need to know, even though they need to know, they need to tell your ass no, they can't tell you no. Get to that level, you got to move past that fear of rejection. You got to fear rejection in the aspect of, if I really do this, they're going to say no to me. You got to create the scenario in your mind that, okay, if they say no, what I'm going to do next? If I say no, what are they going to do next? What's the worst thing they can do? Kill me? Ha ha ha. What's the worst thing you can do? Kill me? Cool. Only thing worse than a motherfucker that fears death is a motherfucker that's in love with death. I invoke the energy of Baron Samni and Santa de Muerte for a reason. Not to serve it. Not to serve the shit. Not to please do my bidding for me. And I will give you my life. The fuck I look like. If that was the fucking case, the same reflection will reflect in my life in the physical realm when I go to my fucking job and if they cut my fucking hours and they say, and then I gotta go, I'm not doing a soft shoe dance for nobody. I'm gonna go do it somewhere else. I'm comfortable in the discomfort of whatever comes next based on the causes that I set in motion, my consequences to my actions. I know how to move forward within all the imbalances of my light. You have to be able to move forward in all your balances and keep yourself, understand the balance of moving into that duality of two sides of that same fucking coin. You have to be willing to sit here and say literally to yourself, that house is on fire, but it has a comfy ass bed in it. But the house is on fire. Do I want to go into a burning fucking house and die from smoke inhalation? Or would I rather lay out here in the fucking grass? It's not raining. If it does rain, do I know how to sustain and build a space for me to be safe weather from the storm? Do I have a level of sustainability and an understanding of the level of self-sustaining for myself that I can move comfortably between both realms? You do this shit unconsciously all the fucking time. You go to sleep, you have a dream, you remember some shit, you wake up. You have to get in tune with yourself consciously on that shit. It goes into your subconscious. If I have a question about one of my fucking dreams while I'm in the astral world, I ask the fucking question while I'm there. I get the answer. I wake up, open up a book to the exact fucking page or the pages, hop on Facebook, a meme gonna pop up or something I was leading to, or someone wrote something that was fucking thought-provoking to the line of where I'm at. And I'm like, damn, I'm on the next page. All right, cool, let's go to the next page. I'm in the right alignment. For example, today, as in building to this lecture, when I woke up at 9 o'clock. I woke up at like 7 o'clock this morning, got a bunch of shit ready, and I went to my stylist. My stylist, like before I made my appointment, I made my appointment yesterday. I made my appointment Thursday. She changed the name of her salon to more embrace what her salon was. When I walked into her salon, it was a more open space. She was doing remodeling. The entire time from the moment I sat down in the chair and got the repairs and got my locks twisted, got my shampoo, got the process done to my hair, to sitting under the dryer, to even after that, the entire conversation flowed in concurrent with the notes that I already had programmed into my subconscious that I was going into for the lecture. So all I did was expound upon the knowledge that I already had, and I was validating it as I was going through, she asked certain questions, I gave certain answers. These answers were the validation. The answers I gave her were validation to her, and her questions were validation to me. This is the level that I need to be on, and this is what I need to speak. That's that level of confidence to yourself and your clarity of yourself. Walking around in this mindset like you one half human and then you have this, you're not half human. You've never been human. Come to terms with you've never been fucking human. The fucking white man told you ever since the fucking beginning, your ass ain't fucking human. You're a fucking savage. The definition of a savage is a one that destroys what is not natural to its environment. What do niggas do to cars, to their 300s? Put rims on them, put 10 on them. They depreciate the original value of the car because it has no value to its natural environment. Our natural environment is to be larger than fucking life because we are larger than fucking life. We've been shrunk and reduced to these forms. So everything that we equate, that we evoke our power into, this is where that shit starts happening. When you start invoking your power in this shit, is it of you? Is it of what you? Is it of who you are, or is it of what you are? Is it of who you are or what you are? That's like when you were a rapper back in the good old, they'll say the golden era of rap. You didn't make it until you got a Jesus piece. You did not get it until you had that Jesus piece around your fucking neck. The bigger, the fucking better. But I wasn't paying attention to the rappers that were wearing the Jesus pieces. I was paying attention to their words. I was paying attention to Rakim and how he spoke. That nigga had on all the fucking chains. But that nigga spoke like a fucking god, or he speaks like a fucking god. On that same balance, I looked at how KRS was. KRS was the humble, the poor righteous teacher. The wealth was the knowledge. The wealth was his knowledge. He's still sustainable today. He's moved from that aspect into the different other aspects. This motherfucker does lectures and does speaking engagements all the fucking time. Shit blew my mind. The first KRS lecture that I watched, he was talking about, look at the Rockstar bumper sticker and say rock, close your eyes and say Rockstar. You can see the bumper sticker in your fucking head. He was the first one actually to show me my first taste of what visualization was. The first time I saw a fucking Baphomet, other than the French man that created it, the first time that I actually saw a Baphomet was in, what was I watching? I was watching the Jay-Z Deception shit. When that shit came out back in the day. And they were talking about Baphomet this and Baphomet evil and this and this. My first glimpse from my subconscious to grab the image. The first Ankh I saw was around that time when African Bambaataa was doing their shit and they had the Ankhs around their neck. First time the image went into my subconscious, way deep down somewhere in there. Buried under a trauma at that motherfucking time. So that trauma created a symbol that blocked the way that Ankh that I needed to see. That trauma made that block, created an image that kept me, warded my human self away because I wasn't worthy of it. I was evil. I was impure of that shit to actually fucking see it. That's how that shit navigates you. Through your fear is going to be your greatest fucking potential. That's why when you have dreams and you see creepy ass shit, or you see shit you can't fucking explain, we'll study that later. And you, shit, tacos. Tacos is my comeback word. And you can't see shit you can't explain. Your confidence in yourself is your ability to see it. Is your ability to ask the questions that you need to ask yourself. You can even give yourself a name. Don't even give yourself a fucking name. What is in a name? We're going to get to that. I'm going to go back to that point. What is in a name? If you knew somebody named Tyrone, I'm going to show you the power of how music works. When the Erykah Badu came out with the song Call on Tyrone, it didn't matter if that nigga's name was Jim, Charles, Xavier, whatever the fuck that nigga name was. If he carried on any of the attributes of the nigga that Erykah Badu explained in that fucking song, they were deemed a Tyrone. They were deemed a fucking Tyrone. Because she used her power and ability of her understanding music and her words to define something. What's happening in this world now is they have the power in your knowledge so they can define your knowledge as negative, as bad, or good. So they can demonize your knowledge. And with your lack of understanding of words and where words break down to, they have the power to define it, and then they can reinforce it with symbols, trauma, and repetition. So if I sit here and tell you Jesus was white, obey your earthly masters, and all your masters was fucking white, and they had black slave owners too. We'll get into that maybe. And then you got free, and then they told you the entire fucking time that Abraham Lincoln only emancipated the fucking slaves, and we don't use cognitive thought. We just stuck on an image. We just stuck on a fucking image. So since you get equated and you stuck on images, the nigga that's less fucking shiny, you won't pay any fucking attention to because you still looking at the physical. That motherfucker light can be fucking awesome. That nigga aura can be motherfucking awesome. Glow every fucking time you see that motherfucker. But since you only stuck on that physical mundane level, you won't see the fucking light that nigga even speaks. Because that motherfucker didn't pull up in a Bentley, you won't even listen to that motherfucker speak. Because you're still equating your life to lower level shit. You're still looking for things to sustain what you have here. So since you're looking for the things that sustain this level here, this level right here, you ain't going no fucking where. You comfortable. You can control everything at this fucking level, whether negative or positive. You control it by complaining to it, or you can trade it. You either you become what you hate or you become what you love. So the same complaint, the reason motherfuckers keep going back to them dead-end ass fucking relationships with them dead-end ass niggas is because there's a sense of control there. And I'm not talking about the sense of control to you can control the situation. I'm talking about you can control your reactions. Your reactions you can control. Motherfucker ain't shit. Gonna take your car and leave it on E, but you know that there's a conduit that you have a job and you have money, i.e. you can put gas in your car. But the shit come tumbling down if you can't put gas in your car that day. You lose your fucking job, you lose your fucking mind. So are you doing what you want or are you doing what you can? That's human aspects of yourself that you got to dive into. Are you doing what you want or are you doing what you can? Doing what you can requires a lot more discipline than you will ever be able to fathom at this level. Being able to do what you want is going to require a different level of disciplines that are not going to be given to you by an outside source. Free housing. Let's take free housing, for example. I had a conversation with somebody. They were talking about somebody told them it was actually what my stylist was actually today. She was talking about she would take her kids to the gas station up the street. She would walk them up to the gas station because she always keeps them walking. And they went to the gas station and she would buy them whatever snacks they wanted, appeasing the little gods and goddesses. And the lady would always say, you know, you can get food stamps, right? And then she said, why would I allow somebody that much information just to get something from them? Just to get a little piece. So then I equated that to the energy exchange. I said, that's the same thought process you do into your life. Because in that same note, she was talking about there was one of her friends that she didn't talk to for a long, like somebody she was in the military with when she was in the military that she served with, that she didn't serve with for a long period of time. And what ended up happening was Later on, she made a post about something, and then this person commented on the post, and they were going back and forth. And then the argument, the truth of the argument came out and said, that's why you don't get that many likes. And then it equated back to her. She was like, the only reason that people like you is because it's mostly dudes, and they commented on your pictures because you posting God is good, but you got your ass out or you showing your titties, so they want to fuck you. So are you serving or are you ruling? What ain't good for me might not be good for you. So you sitting here saying, then you take the aspects to see your mom, motherfucker, only God can judge me. So then you think when you become a God, think about the attributes of what they gave you, what a God was, and think about how those equate to things that you do in your life. You have to understand it's in your subconscious. There's a lot more in there than you actually fucking think. As a God, I create anything that I want. As a God, I create my environment around me as I want. Everything that's in my environment at the time that I want it, at the time that it's needed to be there or presumed to be abundant or scarce or whatever it is, I create that magnitude, that magnetism to create and bring that shit together. So what the fuck I need to judge anybody for? I'm a jealous God. I'm a giving God. They gave you their image of a demiurge God when they showed you fucking 300. And then they showed you what you had to do in order to defeat the God at all costs. That nigga died. You willing to die to be immortal? You willing to sacrifice? What are you willing to sacrifice? Are you going to sacrifice your soul or your humanity and ego? Remember, your soul is everlasting. So if you sell access to your soul, everything that comes with you in that aspect of yourself, it never tarnishes your soul. Your soul cannot be destroyed. That is your pure raw energy. That is the eternal. That is the act. That is the real you. It cannot be destroyed. It cannot be tarnished. It cannot be put into any place that can destroy it. That is your pure. That is your true self. So when it comes into sacrificing, what are you willing to sacrifice to yourself, basically, to your own soul? What are you willing to sacrifice? You're a God. You're a Titan. You're chaos. You're that primordial energy. We're that primordial energy. What are you willing to fucking sacrifice to get to what you desire? If I want something, I go get it. When you come down to these, and then when you start understanding the trickle down on this level, you only do God level shit. I remember I looked at the movie Troy the other day. He was like, you can't say that. He said, and that's why you won't be remembered. The fuck are you saying? You won't be fucking remembered. To walk around here talking about, then you have another economic plan and we need to do this with our fucking people. We need to unite like this. You're going to die another fucking martyr for that same fucking dead fucking cause. You're going to be saying, man, we need to do this. We need to do this. We need to do this. Pop him. Oh, him pop him. Would I say he was a terrorist? You on the terrorist list anyway. You want to be a part of something. I want to unify my people. All right. Go check out the FBI database. Go check out the FBI terrorist list. I think you can Google it. I don't know if you can Google it now. But go Google the FBI terrorist list. Every one of these black organizations are on that fucking list. Every one of the white organizations are on that fucking list. See which ones are funded by what. It's going to blow your fucking mind when you see who's funded by what. No lie. I was on the way from work. I was in my Lyft. And I was like, you know what? I think I'm going to get some Subway. The spirit wants Subway. We don't get the spirit from Subway. In order for me to balance it, knowing I ain't going to eat no fucking meat, I was like, you know what? I'm going to get me a Veggie Delight. I was sitting there and it was like, I ain't getting no cheese. I was arguing with the spirit in my head. I was like having that conversation with myself. Nigga, I ain't getting cheese on it. Nigga, if they ask you about cheese, you don't get cheese. I was like, you might be right. She asked me what kind of cheese I wanted. I got me some pepper jack. I didn't get extra though. Showed that motherfucker who's boss. But anyway, but I'm riding down and like standing in front of the little shopping plaza, standing over there, I see some of the little Power Ranger brothers, the Hebrew Israelite motherfuckers. Looked over, nigga had the Bible out like this, reading it loud as fuck. Went on about my business, went to the goddamn Subway and then went my ass home. Ordered it on my app, on my phone. Got my sub, walked out and went home. That shit don't fucking even, it's a fucking second look to me. That's the type of thought process you need to move in when you move into more clarity. You know it's there. You know it's needed to sustain this shit. What the fuck does it need you for? Whether or not I step out and I go argue with this motherfucker about some dumb shit, this motherfucker tomorrow gonna be arguing with somebody else. Instead of me sitting here arguing with any chick, anybody, all I'm gonna do, you know what? You're right. You're absolutely right. That by itself takes a level of power to yourself that takes your power up here and puts their ego down here. You know what? You're right. What are they gonna say after that? You say you're right. You might have something that will undercut it and be like, try to add some cut to it. It isn't about being right. It's about you understanding. You're right. You're right. It's about me understanding. I understand that I have to tell you that you're right in this aspect because you're just arguing these points. I understand what you're saying. Ego would have me trying to defend, but like, I understand what you're saying and this, and this, and this, and this. This is why I should have did this. Allow a person to speak long enough and you can decipher anything that you need to decipher of a person. You can give somebody whatever steps they need, but it's up to them to actually take the information in. That's like when people tell me about, I have ones that I do consultations about healing the detox in their body, and they follow my shit to the fucking letter and the fucking shit works. And they're like, oh my God, Lucy, all this shit worked. Everything worked the way you said it would work, and it did what it did. Yeah, I had a little slip up moment. You said if I slipped, this would happen, and this would happen, and this kind of happened, and I kind of teetered off, but then I got back on it and it worked. Oh my God, you helped me. Gracious blessings, you paid me, so we're okay. Then I have the other people on the other side. When you gonna help me get rid of my ailments that was happening in my fucking body? I told you had to do a 40-day fast. So what can I eat? Nothing. What can I drink? Nothing. So there's air? Yes. All you can take into your body for 40 days is air. But I need food. No, you don't need food. The shit that's in your body that is destroying your body from the inside needs food. You don't need food. For 40 days, don't do nothing but breathe air. But I'm going to be angry. Yes, you're going to be angry. You're going to be irritable. You're going to be sad. You're going to be depressed. Everything negative that is being dispersed from you is due to you killing something inside of you. So all that spins all the way back into all of these distractions that are leaving you sad and depressed and angry and all these thought processes that you evoke, you invoke you allow your emotions to rule you, so you invoke your power into your emotions. That's what keeps you where the fuck you at. Because you have a relation to it. That's the whole premise behind the relativity factor, the theory of relativity. You're sitting here in your mindset, this motherfucker sitting here in their mindset, still upset about some shit, but they're still living in that zone. They're still living in that space. You ever seen somebody that's been through a traumatic event, or, and what I mean by trauma is on negative and positive, they went through an event that was either mad trauma and it struck fear into them, or it was something that was mad good and it struck joy into them, and they're stuck in that era, they're stuck in that space. There's nothing funnier than seeing a man walk through the fucking mall with a motherfucking, his pant leg rolled up. Like he back in 1996. There's nothing more hilarious than seeing a motherfucker in the mall, old head in the mall with his pant leg pulled up. Nothing more hilarious than seeing an old man in the fucking with his pant leg pulled up. With the same walk he did back in 1996. If you sit there and have a conversation with him, he'll tell you about everything that happened in 1996 and behind that day. But if you ask that motherfucker what anything of this new age we're in, he'll say he don't like none of this shit. Because within him is an event that happened and a trauma that locked him into that space. How do they lock niggas into spaces? How do they lock niggas into spaces? Prison. In the physical sense, they put you in prison. They put you in school. They put you in conduits that lock you into a certain device or a certain way of thinking. You ever seen a motherfucker get out of jail? Has been in jail for like, they went in jail in like a certain time. Like they went in jail in, we'll say 96. 96 seems to be a good number right now. Got locked up in 96 and then got released in 2012. The only thing that they remember is everything from 1996 back. And anything that they heard while they were in there doing their bit. So when they get out, they're resorting to everything in that level that keeps them comfortable. That was in that realm of that era of their bit. Man, give me a sweater, man. Go get me some Nietzsche. What? Go get you some Nietzsche? What the fuck is that? Go ahead, go get me some Carl Canaz. The fuck is that? I know what it is, but what the fuck? Nigga, they don't sell that shit no more. Nigga, they don't sell the Pele coats, the Pepe coats, no. Nah. They don't sell Averett coats? No. They got this now. Niggas out here in tight ass fucking jeans looking like sissies. Looking like niggas I used to fuck on the yard. Cause time was hard in there. With no bitches. Had to get it where you got in, son. Like, what the fuck? To you can't relate to it, so it sounds unfamiliar to you. But to other motherfuckers that understood it, came from that motherfucker's place where they were relating to that, they understand what the fuck he's going through. They understand, is that what he's saying? So that's familiar to them. That's the same thing that's going on in your life right now. The shit that you were relating to no longer relates to you. So it's becoming unfamiliar. And the things that are you're becoming more in correlation and relation with, those things that seem familiar now becoming unfamiliar. It's a repetitive cycle. You're going to go through relating to unrelating, familiar to unfamiliar. You have to keep going to these unfamiliar spaces. The further ahead, you're so far ahead, you're behind. You're so far ahead that now you're behind something and all this shit look unfamiliar to you. You don't know which way to go. You don't know which way's up, which way's down. You don't know what serves you, what doesn't serve you. You don't know what's good or bad. You don't know what's negative or positive because it's all been put backwards. And then the programs that have been put into our minds keep you in this steadfast thought process locked up like this. I don't want to do that either. Man, I don't expect anything. The fuck you mean? White people write good books. They're just missing the key component to the fucking book, and that's to talk about the soul because they don't have one. They talk about what they know. You can talk about what you feel all day. That's why we can sit there, and if some motherfucking kid is acting up in the fucking grocery store, every black person can look at each other and be like, wouldn't be my kid, or wouldn't be me. My mom beat my ass. My aunt would throw a ton of collector through the fucking store and hit me in the back of a sandal from the back of the fuck. That's what the ton of collector is, a sandal. Throw a shoe from the back of the fucking, over there by the fucking dairy aisle and hit me on aisle 1. The shit that you've been through has groomed you for something different, something better, something more, something higher, a higher calling. But you got to come to Jesus. That's how to keep you locked into it. Your higher calling ain't shit without this. Your higher calling ain't shit without this certification. Your higher calling ain't shit without this. Your higher calling, you can't get to nowhere else until you come through me. In some way, shape, or fucking form. You got to come through me to get this shit. For us, we've already done that shit. We've already went through the initiation stage. We've already been through the initiation. We already been initiates. We already been activated in that sense. It's already within you. Everything that you already need is within you, even the initiation process. The trauma that you suffered from as a child, that was part of your initiation process. You have to step through that trauma to understand what that actually correlated to and what trauma and the spirit kicked in. That's when your human functions go out of the fucking window. Your fucking correlate the trauma that you went through is what is going to help you correlate to what you are now. Through your greatest fear is your greatest potential. And I heard that at a fucking church service back in 2012. So you can't tell me the message ain't everywhere. You can't tell me that I can't get this message from here and here. It's what I'm open to gain the access to the information. How do I use it once it's been said? I don't need validation in how I take information in and use it. My validation comes from me understanding the synchronization of things coming to me in the same fashion as that information came. So what are you waiting for? Take the jump. You got to jump. If you don't, they're going to put a rope around your neck and let you go as far as you can before you hang yourself. Hup, he hung himself. All right, we ain't got to deal with him no more. He's dead. Let's go to the next one. He got too big for his britches. He got too big for his pants. I can't get too big for my pants because my pants, I still can't fucking, my pants is bigger than the fucking space that they try to put me in. I don't fit in any spaces. I don't fit in these boxes. I can check off all the fucking boxes because I'm of everything. I'm not a part of anything. Therefore, I'm everything and nothing at the same fucking time. That's what that shit fucking means. You're everything and nothing at the same fucking time. You're of everything at the same fucking time. Your power allows you to go through all this shit. But you have to tune yourself into, wait, what I need to tune myself into? I read that book one time, it made sense like this. I read this and it made sense like this. You can get stuck. You can get stuck. I followed this thought. Just had this thought while I was doing my nightly release. Yes. And I got this from the down after watching Panic's last lecture, the Eternal You. And it made me think deep on some deep shit. Everything should make you think on some deep. Everything should make you. The point of everything is to make you think before you to learn. Right now, in your life, are reflections of your past. Reflections. These shits is delicious. These shits is delicious. Anyway, in your life, there will be a constant influx of reflections of somewhere you need to go and which are going to challenge you, or remnants of your past, remnants of your older self, remnants of where you're at. Your way to decipher between the two, this is one way to decipher between the two. Reflections of where you're going and where you're aspiring to go to are going to challenge you on a level of thought that is going to challenge everything that you ever thought. And it's going to bring you to a discomfort of challenging everything you thought to replace it with things that you need to know. The reflections or mirror images of yourself from different levels and different angles, those angles of light, are going to refract upon you that blinding, piercing pain. That's how we can break it down. To challenge you into everything you thought, to burn it away, to embrace what you need to know. Or you will have remnants of your old self that will remind you of what you thought and believed and make you comfortable in that knowing. So your reflections are going to challenge what you thought and believed to make you in a discomfort to know. And the remnants are going to appease your humanity and ego in the state of comfortable in what you believed. So we break it down even more. In my day-to-day, I had the first conversation with some dudes at work. I would work around them, and every time I wasn't there or present every time I wasn't present, it was a chaos and a calamity that no one took control of. Me being who I am and what I am and understanding my abilities, every time I'm in the position where I'm at, the chaos is still there, but there's control to the chaos. The last things I said to these guys before I left was, it's not y'all, but it is y'all. It's not you, but it is you. My man looked at me like, what? I was like, your lack of accountability to what you control is what's holding you back from whatever you want to do. And I broke it down even further to him because, like, he's going to school and the things that he wanted to do. I said, the things that are going to hold you back are the things you're not going to take accountability and control of. And he looked at me. He was like, facts. That's all he said was facts. I'm just now looking over at the line of comments, and it's funny that Tony just wrote facts and I just said facts. But he said facts. What he does with that knowledge and that information is on him. I've already planted the seed. I have to do no more work. The only work that I will have to do is if he approaches me and has any more conversations that are aspiring to that level of knowledge, that seed that I planted to germinate. That's all the work I got to do. I did my part. Ain't nothing else I can do at that level. I come from the higher, I project from the higher level. So I see things down here and I know how to maneuver around them and say what I need to say, whisper into the ears. They made you think whispering was wrong, and that's what the devil does. You're the devil. Remember, you're God and the devil. In their world, you're the God. Separated, you're God and the devil. You're God and the devil in their world. There's going to be motherfuckers that don't like you, and fuck them. There's going to be motherfuckers that love you, and fuck them too. What you have to equate is, what do they love about me, and what do they hate about me? That's the understanding part. The image of a person, the image that a person produces in their mind of you is not your responsibility. That's not on you. How someone sees you is not your job to decipher or to break down or to create a better image. It's on them. It's on them to be open to expounding upon the knowledge of you in reality, in that term, in that sense of being interacting with you, that's going to take them to understanding you, to change their perception of you. So this means that's a level of self-sufficiency that you're going to have to succeed with. Because at this level, the white man is simply a reflection of things that you let go of a long fucking time ago. In order for you to understand or go higher, you had to let go of it somewhere. That's written in the Gnostic text. You had to let go of it at some point in time. You had to let that shit go. So when we saw the influx of our queens becoming more into the masculine role, they surrendered their feminine aspects to better, but they didn't do it in understanding. They did it to move in the masculine aspects. Some did it to understand the masculine, very few. but most of them suspended their feminine aspects to move better in the masculine in this patriarchal society. Some men suspended their masculine aspects and embraced the feminine aspects to better be accepted in society where they're at. That shifted the paradigm. So if you want to understand one, remember, you understand life, you got to understand death. So to understand how life works, you got to understand how death works. So in that aspect, it's taking that same aspect, everything being everything. That's why when you have effeminate men, how did that, since it's a negative to you, you must understand it to get to the positive aspects of it. What was so negative about a man being able to show his emotions? What was actually present about a man showing his emotions, speaking on his emotions, showing his feelings, showing his compassion, showing his caring? That was deemed at a point in time back in the 60s, 70s, 80s, and still on to this day, that's become toxic, that they deemed as toxic masculinity. They further made it negative. So that's that agenda that they put out there. That's that agenda aspect that they put out there. You're just feeding them more fucking energy by, it's an agenda to feminize the black man. It's a agenda to masculate, to make the black women more masculine. When they did that to their women, when the aspects of their women suspended their fucking feminine aspects and became feminist and all that shit. They did that already. It's already been fucking done. You're just now catching up to it. You're lacking putting time. Our lack of critical thought and understanding timelines in that constraint in that aspect has us so far ahead that we're behind. So an issue that's already been in effect, this is how that shit works. Bobby Hemming break that shit down all the fucking time. They'll never do something in the same time that it was done. So when you look at the Surviving R. Kelly shit, that shit happened 10, 15 years ago. Hell, we knew this nigga like little girls when he married Aaliyah. So we knew that shit already. So you mean it took 10 to 15 years for them to come out with Surviving R. Kelly? And say, look at this monster, look what he did. But look at the catalog of work that this motherfucker created. That motherfucker wrote, I Believe I Can Fly. That's that nigger shit. He wrote, I Believe We Can Fly. So since you stuck on that one song, I Believe I Can Fly, Step in the Name of Love, So Contagious, Trapped in the Closet, all that fucking shit, all these fucking monumental hits, World's Greatest, all these fucking shits that he did, what you're related to is the music that he made. So that hinders you from actually looking at him for what he is, or what he was, or what he it stops you from understanding the aspects of what he accepted to do what he's doing. Think about it like this. If I sat here and said, if tomorrow the motherfuckers that were in charge were exposed as black people, yeah, us, you be ready to go fight and shoot some motherfucker body. Why? Because you know how to kill a nigga. Spiritual motherfuckers ain't gonna kill the fucking nigga. Even if we kill them, we know where the fuck they going, and we just gonna invoke the energy back anyway. We have that. We understand that they invoke that energy and evoke it into the shit that we needed to do. That was the whole thought process of saying the marathon continues over and over again. Or when fucking Rick James died and said, Rick James, bitch. Or the same aspect when Prince died, and then for like a month fucking straight, they played Purple Fucking Rain and fucking When Doves Cry every fucking day. Or whenever Michael Jackson died, they did the whole thing with his fucking movie. But since you didn't embrace this motherfucker on both sides of the spectrum of what he did and what he was, you weren't able to tap into that fucking energy. Therefore, they got you based on emotion, crying about Michael Jackson. They feeding off your fucking emotion. Lower level shit. They got you feeding off lower. They got you so stuck in the lower level shit that they feed upon low level shit. That's all they can feed on. It's shit at this fucking level. Your emotions are of the lower version of yourself. You being horny all the fucking time, you not being in tune with your energy, your tantric energy, your tantric life force, your kundalini energy, they feed upon your need for something to feed that. That's what they feed on. That's what the archons feed on at this fucking level. So of course, oh my God, Surviving R. Kelly. That may remind me of my cousin got touched. My cousin was like, this happened to this. Oh my God. We don't talk about it. We don't talk about that. So we don't like R. Kelly. But you aren't reversing the shit. You aren't learning from anything. You're stuck in emotionalism. So you give it power. You gave it all your power. It went bad. You denounced it, and now the power goes to them. That's how that shit works. That's similar to everybody. I know most of the fucking new fucking Orisha names now. Got them shits 2 nights ago. Similar to I'm gonna give them more personal to it. I know my grandmother's spiritual name. I know my aunt's spiritual name. I know my father's spiritual name. I know my ancestors' spiritual names. I know the ancestors that are in my personal bank that I work with on every single occasion. I know their spiritual names. I can call on them in their spiritual names. Being on that level, there was one condition on that contract. Don't tell the other family members the spiritual names. If they need something, they must come to you, and then you do the work using our name. You can give them the ritual, you put the power, you say the name, and then we'll do what we need to do. But other than that, don't give them our names. Here's the reason why. If similar to, let's say, a diamond's worth. A diamond ain't worth shit. A diamond can be simulated and made in multiple ways, made in multiple caverns. A diamond holds no true value other than it being used as the tip on a recording diamond, carbon on carbon. You can use sapphire, you can use any stone. Diamond was like the least expensive. In order for a diamond to be deemed expensive on that rate, just like gold is worth less than you. Even with this Iran shit and the gold prices going up, guess what else went up? Gold didn't just go up. The cost of your melanin went up. I do not remember the price of what melanin went up to, but melanin went up a very substantial amount, a gram. Before that, melanin was $753 or $753 million. No, it's $753 million. It's $753 a gram. So think about every gram of melanin, your organs are melanated, and think about the worth of that. So they define that. So they had to define something, remember, to keep everything at that same level, to keep everything subdued, to make you had no worth. They made something worth more than you, and they said it was diamonds. The power to define is the true power. If I can define the worth of something and how powerful it is in the constructs and I can give you one stone, this amethyst stone, and if you know its capability, if you know the attributes of amethyst, and you really need an amethyst stone, I'd be like, what are you gonna give me for this? This is the last one. Or I know where to get all of these from. You won't get one more powerful than this. I can define how powerful this is. And I can subsource it to you. That's what they did with the diamonds. They define, these motherfuckers don't need shit from you except for your fear. In order to keep their shit powered, in order for motherfuckers to keep shit powered in your fucking life, they need your energy as the signature for the acceptance of what's going on in their fucking life. They need your energy. They need your fanatical, they need your fanatical attributes. That's how shit sustains. They give you shit to keep you distracted, so you don't invoke your power in anything else. You won't invoke your shit in anything that matters. And even if you did have the thought process of, I want to make this a better place for my kids in the future. Okay. What are you going to do? You're either going to do one of two things. Either you're going to appease to the system and try to make this system better for the inside infrastructure, or you're going to create a new system that has a sustainability outside of the system. So what are you creating in your day-to-day that is sustaining your ability to further separate from the systems that you're siphoned from? How are you engaging and taking your abilities to be able to look at shit without it siphoning from you? How many people can sit here and say, I can watch the ignorance of what rap music is now and say they don't give a fuck? I'm still gonna dance to it. Real shit. Take the spotlight off. Think about how many of them new rappers are now broke, or they were already broke. When the last time you heard a Lil Yachty song? Lil Boat, whatever the fuck his name is. It was a phase. They gave it enough light to do enough distracting, and then they took it away. But they'll create another one because they know how to create shit because they were created. They understand the creation process. And them understanding the shit about you and then programming in your mind like, I never could do that. That's how you will stay locked here, because you're not willing to do what you need to do to get to the level you need to get to. What are you willing to sacrifice to invoke your energy into things that are worth you evoking? Where are you stuck? What chakra are you imprisoned in right now? You can't even get past fucking chakras and understanding them to unlock that shit to even get to the zodiac. Then understanding, looking back, they're the same fucking thing. The same reason you can't get out of your fucking root chakra is because you sitting here saying fuck Jesus. So you ignore the fragments in the story of Jesus and saying it's you, replacing the G. Robbie Emmett said that. Replace Jesus and Christ, and every time you see Jesus and Christ, and I think the 3 times you see Lucifer, the devil in the Bible, replace that with you, then you can understand your chakra system. It's then when you start understanding your chakra system and how to break out of that in the Kabbalah and the Tree of Life, then you will start understanding astrology, and you won't be stuck on. My name's Lucifer, and I'm an Aquarius. I enjoy deep, meaningful conversations. My favorite color is blue. You won't be stuck on the small attributes of yourself because you're still thinking. You're thinking in fragments, and you're not connecting the fragments. So you're stuck in one compartment or the other. So since you're stuck in this compartment over here, and this person's stuck in this compartment over here, that's what they're arguing about, back and forth, back and forth. They're debating on this level about their compartment versus your compartment. My compartment has this. My car has surround sound and navigation. Well, my car has all-wheel drive and fucking a sunroof. You're going to choose, do I want a sunroof or do I need navigation? Well, I got my phone so that can do my navigation, but I really want a sunroof for the sun to be better. You're arguing over these material pieces of your life that really hold no accountability or hold no fucking value outside of when you purchase the shit. Motherfuckers will argue, dead niggas will argue all motherfucking day about their fucking sports team. Asinine fucking thought. Unless you are invested in the fucking sports team, it's not yours. Man, they got my heart. I love them. We already understand love does not equate to anything sustaining. Love is a tool used in understanding and sustaining and building. Compatibility is a tool used in maintaining and sustaining and growing. These are tools. So when I say Trump is a tool used for you to learn from, you understand it more. So when people sit there and say, I say, fuck your kids, fuck your mom, fuck them, fuck your relatives. This ain't for them. So when Bobby Hemmett said that shit in those lectures, you get those tapes, you now have a deeper understanding because of where you're starting at. And then it all comes full circle. I can go back and look at my first lectures and the aspects that I look for. I look at the aesthetics of how the lighting, the similarly looking at the lighting, how I spoke, what I spoke on, how comfortable I was speaking certain things. I didn't touch certain subjects because I didn't understand them. Now I understand them more. Now I can speak more on them. That's a part of the process of studying myself. Until you learn how to study yourself with an open mind, with an open eyes, you're not going to be able to see anything else around you and how it matters. You won't understand anything outside of you because you don't understand yourself. Because you don't want to understand parts of yourself, you won't understand the things that are happening to you in your day-to-day life. So you don't know what to sacrifice. You don't know the worth of your sacrifice. Right now, you're sacrificing to do what you can. I sacrifice to do what the fuck I want. This is what I want to do. So I do it. And I sacrifice what it takes to do this. So I have to create the sustainability, the streams of stability on the lower level. So as I invoke my energy As I invoke the knowledge, invoke my power, I invoke that into those new cithras that I now understand. So I'm no longer a prisoner to money. I rule that realm. I'm not a prisoner to my health. I rule that realm. On that rock, I built my kingdom on that rock in that world. It gets deeper when you start going into the visualization process of building your own astral realm, building your own spot in your astral world. But you got to go through the meditation first and understand the dissipation. You got to go desolation. You got to go through the meditation process of understanding how to clear your mind in order to visualize and hold your intentions in your subconscious so that they can now manifest. That's why you sit there and when a real life situation comes up, oh my God, I need money for my rent. You worried about your fucking rent. Human shit. I ain't worried about my fucking rent. I know exactly how much my rent is. Yes, I know exactly how much my rent is. I know exactly what I need to do to make my rent. That's autonomous. That's already in the fucking bag. So I know exactly what I have to do, and I know exactly what I have to go through to make my money for my rent. I know exactly what to create in that realm that I rule of my money to put that there. I know what I need to do there. So I ain't got to worry about that shit. In growing and going further, I have to broaden, just like I expand my mind up as above, I have to expand my level of how I acquire my streams of income on this level. So now, when it comes to me saying Cash App $ Lucifer Somni, go ahead, drop $1 to show your support. I'm not coming from a place of please donate me $1 so I can eat some more vegan Cheez-Its. I'm invoking my power. I'm invoking I'm invoking the collective thought that, okay, yo, this is a conduit for the information and the knowledge that I need on one level. So me showing my support on that level requires that part of what I'm searching for to be sought on that level. So it's not ego driven. So I'm teaching at the same aspect, I can sacrifice $1 or $2. It's nothing. It's not real anyway. So I'm really not losing anything. It's deeper than motherfuckers try to make more shit deeper than it actually is. And they try to make other shit not deep. They try to make what people do is they appease your ego by making shit seem deeper than it actually is. When it's actually very fucking simple. I'm one of the ones that are making this fucking shit simple, as if I point to you, you can go, it ain't even that deep. Some of this shit ain't even that, some of the information and the references that I give when I do give them, from when I gave out the last lecture, I gave out the list of the chakra books, and the other lecture when I gave out the tantric books, and the other one when I gave out the one about the way of the superior man, books like that, the information is not hard to go get. It's your ability and what you're willing to sacrifice to get that information. Are you willing to sacrifice an hour a day to meditate to get some good downloads? Are you willing to sacrifice an hour a day to So now that you're in alignment with it and you're willing to do it in your spiritual level as above, guess what happens below? You become open to the sources on this level. So therefore, I can create the God Hour podcast. I understand how to wield my light and my abilities. So I can create the God Hour podcast and put information in there and drop jewels and knowledge in there. That's another conduit for you to get to. As well as Willie. Way more. It's all there. That's why I can do this every Friday. I'll sit here and be like, yo, we getting the Friday night lectures. We get in. I drop the gems. I put the information in here. What you do with the information, that's not on me. It's the fact that my only job and purpose is to put the information out there. I've already used it. I'm using it to go further deep into it. When I drop the price list when I drop the price list on Monday for all the stuff that I'm doing, from the guided meditations to the consultations to all of that, I've studied that shit immersely. I'm immersed in that. I studied in that. Now I can put the price list to that. I can now put my currency, the current to it. That's all it is about putting the current to it. You're the power source. Your currency is your energy. Your energy is your currency. That's the only shit that's the most powerful thing. And you're the only one that has the true currency. Everything else, they got counterfeit spirits. You can't counterfeit a soul. So that's why they keep you locked in. It's all about the spirit and the spirit and the spirit. There's counterfeit spirits. So if you go into that aspect of that realm and you talking about, what is it? Damn. Wait. Come back, tacos. So if you go into that realm and you're sitting there talking about, I had a conversation and I was brushing somebody's hair in your fucking dream, guess what happens? They know how to connect to you. So since they know how to connect to you, guess how they connect? Through your lack of understanding of yourself, you being scared of yourself. That's what they use to attract to you. That's what they use to hold you down. That's what they use to keep you solidified and kept in that little battery chamber. They keep you running their shit. But guess what? Here's that kicker and that catalyst that'll put your thought process to a whole different thought process. The only way that something can be siphoned from is from something equal or greater to it. The only way your power can be siphoned and truly be distracted upon and attacked all the time is by something that is greater is I just said it. Is greater or is equal or greater to it. That's the only way. So your deepest, darkest reflection, which is your deepest, darkest self, is manifested in the physical realm at this level to siphon your energy. And it ain't white people. It's not white people. Think about that. It ain't white people. They use the banner of white people because they know all you're going to do. We need to march, pray, and protest and get guns and create an economic eco-structure. What if you knew it was you? If you were your own worst enemy, would you kill yourself? That's what the whole thing about killing humanity. You're not willing to kill yourself. And since you're not willing to kill yourself, kill your humanity, kill the ego, kill the human part of yourself, that's how you stay locked down here. So everything outside of that is a reflection of the only thing that matters and the only headshot you need to deliver. Kill the head, kill the body. Kill the head, kill the body. Or keep the body, kill the mind. As above, so below. As above, everything's the right side up. Down here, everything's upside down or separated. So what the fuck did you, who do you think gave them the idea to kill the mind, keep the mind, keep the body, kill the mind? Where do you think what temple wall do you think they got that shit off of? Because we showed the mummification they showed you the mummification. I don't know what the fuck they're showing kids nowadays in school. But I remember when I was in fucking school and they showed the mummification process, they showed them sticking that fucking forceps up in the fucking nose, liquefying the brain and throwing the brain away. So keep the body, keep the body, kill the mind. Where do you think they got it from? It's already proven that the Gnostic priest, which is written in the Gnostic text, in the Hermetica, and all these great books, already told you that the only way that shit can be deciphered is by the motherfuckers who wrote it. So if you look at the timeline, and white people ain't been here that long, they say white people came out of caves, they were grafted from dog nuts and fucking monkey and pig asses. They couldn't have deciphered that shit. So who deciphered it? Who dispersed it? So all these stories that are layered on top, who created all these fucking stories? To layer and make you think something that wasn't really there, to keep you dreaming, to keep your imagination running rampant, to keep you programmed like, damn, that's how they did this, this, and this. How can an advanced people be destroyed by fucking smallpox? Think about it. Think about how much this shit's actually fucking real. They destroyed them with smallpox. You mean some niggas came over on some boats, gave some books and some fucking sugar and some other fucking shit. But wait. It contradicts because, weren't we sailing the 7 seas way before the white people any fucking way? Ferdinand Magellan and all the other motherfuckers. So we were going back and forth grabbing cocaine from over here and weed and mushrooms and all our shit from over here, taking over there for our spiritual practices. And then they were coming over there grabbing stuff from us for their spiritual practices. Because they say the mummies had cocaine in their system, marijuana in their system, coffee in their system that wasn't native to that fucking land. Come on now, really start fucking thinking. Who the fuck did it? Phil Valentine breaks down there was always constant war between niggas. There was always a change of hands. Motherfuckers were battling their shit. That's on the physical level. That's what causes the shift down here. The shit happens really slow down here. But if you're a chaos being and you're a titan, and then you have new gods, which is you got to go back to go forward. So if you look at the gods before Osiris and Set and Shango, and they're all different they're all different pantheons based on different levels where they're at. Who are the originals before them? Why are the gods dying off? The gods need what? They need humanity to sustain them. They need to be believed in. So they wanted to be the god. They wanted to be you. So the demiurge needs what? Something lower than it to believe in it for it to sustain. You already were a god. You're something more. But we start with the God aspect, so that's this part you got to understand first to take yourself to the next level. Bobby Hemming breaks that down in the lectures. We're the older gods. The ones that came after us, they came down, they got their human bodies, and they've been running this shit ever fucking since. So they give you all this plethora of shit in your fucking life. And then they do what? Leave your ass fucking sustained. Now you sustaining the facts. Yeah, we were gods, we were kings, we were queens. Yeah, as long as they keep believing, they keep giving us our energy. Because as long as they believe they were something, as long as you believe you were something, you won't go back to it. You don't need to go back to it. That's that level of understanding and your knowledge of yourself. Once you take these types of thoughts into your mind to provoke your thought process to go further, you can look further ahead. Now you can go through the weird shit that you're so far behind. Remember, we're so far ahead that we're behind. Now all this shit falls into place in a different light. So what are you really sustaining here? Why are motherfuckers so hell-bent on sustaining here? And why do you need a leader to help you sustain some shit here? If you were this, if you were the first one to do this and the first one to do that. If you were the first to do it, it's programmed inside of you. Why the fuck do you need someone else to show you something that you need to fucking do? It just doesn't add up. It doesn't make fucking sense. That's where the exploration of your fucking mind goes into. And now they've deemed everything that they deem negative. Now there's that barrage of us that are going into that occult thought process. And now we're thinking about those things. And we're studying those things. But they're still ahead of you. That nigga weird. Them niggas is weird. Da, 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 da. They give you another image to look at so you don't want to even portray the image. Because they know we're stuck on images. They know we're stuck on the repetition. They know you're stuck on something in your life. They know you're stuck on repetition. They know you're stuck on repetition. They know you're stuck on symbols. And they know you're stuck in your traumas. So until you look at your trauma, until you study your trauma, until you study the traumas, study the symbols to break down into in a repetitious manner, doing it backwards, repetitiously study the symbols to unlock your traumas, to remove the triggers of the cipheras that you stuck in, you ain't going nowhere. That's a part of the death process. That's rigor mortis. Rigor mortis set in, the enzymes from your fucking body stiffen your body. That pillar of salt shit. They tell you not to look back. They didn't mean that in the physical sense. They meant that in your fucking spiritual sense. That's the same reason when they put out the doctrine talking about don't listen to the Egyptians because the Egyptians are scuttled paganism and all this. And then you won't go look at it because it has a white face. And you just told yourself the white man is evil. But who told you the white man is? If I don't want you to take me out, and my ego, everything is a reflection of me. On a grander scheme, this is how deep that shit gets into yourself. Your ego, which is now another conscious entity because it has a consciousness, because it's been indoctrinated. So that's how it was created. Now your ego has a physical representation outside of you. The shit that appeases you, the shit that makes you feel really, really, really good about being human, it has a face. It has whatever face that you created in your own fucking head. It has a face now. It's going to come in, guess what faces? The face of your mother, the face of your father, the face of your favorite aunt, the face of your favorite uncle, the face of your favorite nephew, your face of your baby kid, your baby girl, your face of your baby boy. It's going to come in those faces. And you're going to put so much energy into preserving its life and helping it sustain and helping it learn and helping it navigate that it leaves you stuck looking down at it instead of you looking forward and doing something more to better yourself. It's going to naturally sustain itself based on what you fucking do anyway. Whether I go to my mother's house every single day and sit there and shut off my conscience, shut off my fucking occult mind for an hour or so, or I don't. In my mind, I already know my mom is going to sustain the same shit she's going to sustain regardless. If I don't go out with my dead friend, the dead people that my dead friend, my friends that are not in this at the level or aspiring to be at this level, and they go out and go have a ball ass time, regardless, they gonna do the same shit regardless with or without me. So what am I worried about? What am I missing out on? A drink, I can go buy that. Smoking, I can go buy that. Anything that I need, I can go acquire for myself and enjoy it in the company, enjoy it in my own fucking world, my own fucking space. So what am I really fucking missing? What are you really fucking missing? What are you really fucking attached to? Because it made you feel good? Because it looked at you a certain way? Everything goes on a degenerate. Everything goes in a degenerate. Everything goes on a degenerative process. When it's no longer needed for you, you see, that's like when I no longer have interest in something, all of the negative things that I absorbed and were on the back burner go on the backside. I went through all that negative shit to understand all the positive beauty. In reverse, when I no longer need it, the first thing it's just a repeat of fucking what they did for centuries anyway. All the negative markers come out. That's how I'll remember that. I'll remember more things of something negative than I remember some more of the things that are positive. I have to remember the negative things to propel me away from ever going back to that. Their arrogance is your way out. They use it backwards. That's how they use it on you. So really think about it. Who's really in power? Who's creating this balance at this level? Remember, a level, how something is created at a certain level, it must sustain that chaos or that fusion, that energy, that reaction in that fusion, in that cell, for it to stay that way, or it will explode, or implode, or it'll split. Once it has too much energy in it, it does one of two things. It either creates another sphere or it destroys itself. Energy doesn't destroy itself. It just simply it'll multiply that shit. It'll destroy itself and come back as something else. So at this level, these cipheras that you're getting stuck in and you continuously getting stuck in, all they're doing is the sacred energy exchange dance, and it's connecting to another one. So you move up from, okay, I'm conscious, I don't fuck with Jesus anymore. Okay, now you pro-black. Now everything white supremacy, this cipher, your misunderstanding, the knowledge of white supremacy that you understand, bases your understanding of yourself, that feminine aspect comes together, creates that vesica, and creates that portal at that level. Now there's another portal. Now you've got to understand that portal. How do I get over white supremacy? How do I get over racism? Become a racist. Become a white supremacist. They're devoid of power. So they need to have supremacy. Supremacy and power are two different things. You have power. They have supremacy. Supremacy is the lack of power. They have to feel supreme. Supremacy is the lack of power. I feel supreme over you because you don't know your power. Understand your power defeats supremacy. Racism. The root word of racism is race. Ism is the act. Giving themselves Grammys. David Banner said that shit. Giving themselves the Grammys, giving themselves the best jobs, giving themselves the best houses, giving themselves the best income. That's what they're supposed to do. What are you doing? You should be giving yourself the best. And everything around you reflects you giving yourself the best. That's why you get stuck in that mindset program is still programmed. Man, I'm gonna move out of the fucking hood. All right, cool. Move out of the fucking hood. If that's good for you, that's good for you. You don't need to explain that shit to anybody else. Niggas do nigga shit. That's to be the only niggas do nigga shit. I'm not doing nigga shit anymore. So I'm not gonna live around niggas. Damn, now I'm around these white people and man, now I'm different, man. They don't like me. They think I do nigga shit. Because they still see you as a nigga, whether you are black, whether you are an upstanding black man or a Negro, to them you're the same. Because on the other side of that reflection, when you look at white people in a general scale, they all the fucking same to you. They all the same. They all the same to you. They doing what you doing. They just have a sense of understanding their lack of power and keeping you away from your power. That's what that works at. That's what they're being used for. But then that understanding, just in that, something has to be moving them around. So how much power do they? They have some power, and that's the power to fire you from your job or arrest you or mundane human shit. But if you're not fucking human, that shit doesn't even fucking matter to you. What power do they really fucking have? You start seeing shit for what the fuck it really is. They don't have any fucking power over you as a god, as a titan, as a chaos being. The worst thing they can do is release you from your. The worst thing they can do is release you from your human fucking form. And if you did the work you were supposed to do, you won't come back. The motherfuckers that are still here, you'll shoot that download down. Yo, this is my new tag name. This is my new tag. This is my new handle right here. Hit me on this and I bring all the power down. We're gonna destroy some shit. That's the name of the game for you. So what are you really scared of? Your lack of knowledge is fear. Fear is a lack of knowledge. Sin is a lack of knowledge. Sin translates in Hebrew to shenek, and that's lack of knowledge. So yes, you full of fucking sin because you lack fucking knowledge. They made you like it was a bad thing. I'm a sinner. I'm a heathen. I'm a sinner. Yes, I lack knowledge and I need more knowledge. So I'm always going to be a sinner because the knowledge is infinite. Therefore, I'm always going to be a sinner. I'm a heathen. Why am I a heathen? Because I do not agree with the paradigm at this level. That's all a heathen is. What's a pagan? Same shit. Same paraphrased definition. One that is not in the traditional, what they call the traditional standards of worship. So I'm a pagan. You're all that shit and none of it at the same fucking time. Until you put that thought process in your mind, you can't go any forward with anything else. These are the types of things that you really get. When they're talking about unlearning and relearning, these are the things, these are the trigger words that you got to replace the trigger words that they put in your life every fucking day. This entire fucking year, they're going to have new trigger words, the same fucking trigger words. They started with them over and over again. They give them new names. The trigger, They define the new trigger word with they define the trigger definition with a new word. War in Iran, Desert Storm. Surviving R. Kelly, 2. Surviving R. Kelly, 1. Surviving R. Kelly, pedophilia. What does pedophilia seem like? Oh, yeah, the church was doing that shit. But then you go look up, they showed it on fucking South Park, and they made your ass fucking laugh. The National Man Boys Association. You want to get even deeper? There's an entire fucking dictionary for fucking gay people that they can say words that are defined as something. They're words that they use that are defined as something else. They mean something totally different. So they can have a whole conversation beside you about you, and you don't know what the fuck they're saying. But you still stuck on the motherfuckers at the nail salon talking about your feet look bad in Korean. Distraction from the real source of the matter. But you'll accept that shit to keep getting your nails done. You'll accept that bullshit at the fucking hair salon, at the fucking Asian store where you get your fucking hair, to keep your hair looking, to keep that lace front looking right and your baby hair is looking fresh. You'll accept that shit out there because you feel you have no power over it. So who the fuck has the... But you walk in there, you have the power. For that, boy, that sucks when your phone dies. But take that thought process to yourself. What are you willing to sacrifice to get to your next fucking level? What are you willing to fucking sacrifice? In that mindset, what are you willing to sacrifice? I've sacrificed shit countless fucking times. I've been homeless 3 times. Bounce back. Been jobless a bunch of times. I quit every one of my fucking jobs. I got fired from 2 jobs. The only 2 jobs I ever got fired from, I got hired to another job within 2 weeks. Those are the types of scenarios that you plan into your fucking head that you defeat and everything. But we were slaves, and we children of slaves. We were prisoners of fucking... We're children and ancestors. We're children of prisoners of war. They chained down the gods because they had to make them think they were human first. They had to make them fight. They had to tell them that they were human to make them fight that they were human, to go against they were being human, to understanding that you're not fucking human. Think of the programming that's programmed on top of that. And then think of everything that you could plug into that. If I tell you that you're fucking fighting to be human, and I put in all these different fucking plugs of voting and rights to drink and rights to drive and rights to own a house over here and rights to own this car and rights to do this and all these fucking shits, and I plug all that shit into the power source, the encasing that I put around you of being human, think of how much control I have over your power. But the only way that I can have control over your power is that I have to have equal power to you to do it. So who's really fucking in charge? The same instance of you invoking your energy and evoking it into your life, into the things that fucking matter, is the same thing on does it serve me or does it not serve me, that something above you that is you is doing. Something above you that is you is doing. Think about it. Think about it. That's why I said the only thing that matters is you. Because in the study of you, you find out what the fuck the true matter is and what the fuck the most valuable thing is. Only something with a soul can affect the soul. Only something that understands the sun can keep something down below it to keep it setting. Same story They just got you stuck in time. The same conspirators of Osiris, the same conspirators of Set, the same Judas story, the conspirators against Malcolm X, the conspirators in the Black Panthers. All these stories told you one thing. It's always the one that is closest to you, that is in your likeness. So if you think about all of that, who the fuck is really in fucking charge? I wonder if I can do something. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh shit. I didn't mean to do that. That was an accident. I was trying to see if I could do some shit. And it didn't do what I wanted to do. So your problem is not what you think it is. Your problems are not what you think they are. Your problems are deeper. Just like everything else is on the surface level, is on a deeper level. That shit didn't fucking change. It's still on the fucking surface. It's still on the fucking deeper level. You just been taught to look outside of yourself for so long, you ain't looking right in the fucking, you're not looking right at the fucking answer. Hidden in plain fucking sight. Hidden in plain fucking sight. Been sitting there right in front of your fucking face. I just want you to think. I just want you to fucking think. I want you to take yourself fucking higher. It's beautiful up here. It's beautiful up here. Everything that you can ever desire is already up here. And it's past all this material shit. So are you going to wait for a couple more years for them to give you some more technology or some shit that you already were doing in the spirit than when you were in the spirit realm? Think about that shit right there. Think about all these technological advances and then go look at the origins of where it started from, where it came from. Think about that right there by itself. Think about what they repeated right in front of you once they understood it. Pull out your phone. Go to your keyboard and click the smiley face at the bottom. And think about what we're doing now every fucking day. Rewriting shit in fucking hieroglyphs. So we ain't gotta do shit here. All them fucking smiley face emojis, all them fucking symbols. That motherfuckers, I use more fucking symbols than any fucking thing. So what are you really trying to do here? Sustain. What are you sustaining? This shit's fucking fading. This shit's fucking failing. They showed you everything rises and everything falls. Now motherfuckers are just now getting into the tune talking about Rome and America's the new Rome and the new shit, and it's about to fall, and it's about to fall, and it's about to fall. So they invoke fear. Now they invoke fear. You can't invoke fear, you evoke fear. Now they evoke fear into you. And then you're like, we need to rally more now than ever. How the fuck are you going to eat? How are you going to rally in a burning building? What you gonna do? Everybody gonna stand on each other and hold up a beam? Be all gonna spit on the fucking flame? This shit's burning the fuck down. This isn't a degenerate. Everything is showing you a degenerate. I can't say that word to save my fucking life tonight. Everything is in a degenerative state in your life happening around you. But you so focused on gotta go pay that rent next week. That's nice. Why are you worried about paying the rent? They give you two extremes. You worried about paying your rent, and this motherfucker that spent $2 billion invisible illusionary dollars on a fucking war. That war helps sustain shit at this fucking level. It helps change the hand and change the guard. When we were going to battle in war, we were in constant war up there. It was over the changing of the guards. You're seeing the same shit happen down here. It's happening up there. The sustainers of this level are creating a counterbalance from the higher level. They're just reenacting what's happening up there already. It's already happened down here. It's not a constant repeat. It's not a constant flux. You pay attention to it, you put your power into it, then it can continue. No matter how bad it gets, you'll pray about it. You'll go eat some more veggies. You'll go tell somebody they shouldn't eat this or they shouldn't eat that. I don't care what the fuck you eat. I don't care what the fuck you drink. I don't care about none of the shit that you fucking do in your life. If that's your niche and that's taking you where you need to get to, keep doing it. All I can do is expose the holes. Give you the knowledge to start doing that work, to step out of those holes, to step out of that veil, to step from behind that space. That's what I'm supposed to do. That's what we're supposed to be doing, learning, observing. It gets hard when the distractions are right there in your face and you paying attention to them. But after a fucking while, guess what happens? You step out of that shit. Now you start seeing it from that different level. It's a different level of clarity that you need as you're sitting there as a God. And then those negative attributes of the demiurge that the demiurge embodies has nothing to do with the positive sides of what you do. That's what the demiurges and the entities at this level don't want you to kick into. They don't give a fuck about you having an economic plan. You fight for that all fucking day. But if you start collectively putting yourself and aligning yourself to rise above them to the level where you go, that spiritual level, spirituality of yourself, that's where they're going to get scared. They're already scared of that shit. That's already apparent. So you doing it and actually acting on it and like, yo, I'm not paying attention to that dumb shit anymore. Fuck that shit. What, they didn't give a fuck that we killed Trayvon Martin? They didn't give a fuck that we bombed the towers? They don't give a fuck about that. They don't give a fuck about none of this shit. You laugh off dumb shit all the fucking time. World Star, whatever the fuck the new World Star is. You yelling World Star, dumbass fucking fights. Laugh that shit off. Not understanding that there is an entity, the war god, that motherfuckers want to pray to, that's shooting out them fucking bullets, that's orchestrating that at this fucking level. So who the fuck are you really praying to? Who are you giving your energy to? Who are you appeasing to? It's deeper than these motherfuckers think. They just stuck in the realm of egos. That's how this shit's working. That's how this shit's coming together. That's how this relativity works. you invoking an energy into some shit, and you ain't understand what the energy is actually doing because you're not doing it as a fucking god. You're doing it as a fucking humble servant because you were taught to obey your fucking earthly masters. Who the fuck you think the earthly masters are now? They just replaced them from white people to Buick to Lexus to Jordan to Puma to Gucci. We gotta get them black people riled up again. Let's put blackface on the front of the fucking. Let's put blackface on the jacket. Let's make a blackface turtleneck. And they do some obscene shit, and you get mad. Now we gotta boycott Gucci. The fuck does it matter? Whether you boycott them or not, they already made their fucking money. They don't need your fucking money. They need your fucking power. You're the only source that has the fucking soul. That is the strongest and the most valuable asset that they've been mining for fucking decades. Until you understand that it's eternal, it can't be destroyed. And the only way the power can be taken away from it is if it's given away willingly. And you doing that shit in the physical form right now. Same shit. Every fucking day. That's why you in the state of depression you in. That's why you in the state of addiction that you in. All of these things that I do when I do spiritual consultations, they all boil down to the same thing. All of your issues boil down to a trauma that you have not dealt with yet. And the traumas that are in a trigger that you haven't dealt with yet. And the traumas that have been put in front of it are childhood traumas, generational curses, all that shit. We got to get through all that shit before you can get to the next level. So when I come to you with this level of clarity, understand that I went through those fucking curses. So I can say the things like, fuck your mama, fuck all that shit. I can put out the God Hour podcast and say whatever the fuck I want. Because I have a level of understanding of myself that and a power, as Tinker broke out, I have an understanding of my powerful and my clarity and understanding that is not matched by anything on this fucking level. That's the level of confidence that you need to have in yourself. I can teach you, I can show you, but I can't save you. That's up to you. I can give you the light, but it's up to you to have your eyes open to see it. That's the key. That's as always, around this time, since we get a little bit longer, around this time we do the question and answer period. You got a little question, you got an answer, you got a comment, you got a thought you want to get off, you got something you want to share with the class, share with the class. This is your time to do it now. If you haven't done it, go ahead and knock that out now. Go ahead. Questions, comments, concerns, thoughts, any acts that you want to think about. As of Monday, I'll have the price list out for the consultations, guided meditations, visualizations, shadow works of all kind, from mirror work, all the little works. On the higher note, the higher level of that, the tantric alchemy, the teaching, and the use of Reiki and all those other methods and whatever, and breaking it to your subconscious. I will have that list up soon. If you have something that you want to drop in my mini inboxes, you know, all my social media sites are Rock Hall and Aegis, from my Instagram to my Facebook. My email address is set Carlo, Carlo, still Carlo, Negus, Negus at gmail.com. You can drop an email in there. I will answer it. Showing your support to the God Hour podcast. Much appreciation and the love for everybody that's tuning in, and that's growing, that's building. That's always a good thing when we're building something in the right direction, when it's coming out with our vast truth. Where do you feel like you are in your journey personally? In my journey now, I feel that I have truly surpassed the level of, you're always constantly a student. Remember, I always say you're everything and you're nothing. So at the same time, at certain levels that I was a student, I'm now a teacher in. Thus, I can speak so strongly on certain levels and I can teach certain things, and I'm actually putting that together. And at the same time, I'm at the level of, I'm past a lot of shit. The best way to explain it is truly not giving a fuck. Truly not caring. Saying you don't care and actually not caring are two different things. I can say I don't care all day, but as simply as put, if I have to say it, that means if I have to say it in the aspect outside of teaching on it or implementing the thoughts of teaching the methodology to it, then I'm convincing myself that I don't care. Implanting in my mind, in my subconscious, is stuff that I don't care about. I understand that I don't care about humanity and I don't care about ego in my personal sense, because I have an understanding of what humanity and ego are. They're outlets to my power. In order for me to go higher in my levels of my power, I have to let go of the outlet that is humanity and ego. And releasing from humanity and ego, I have to release from the aspects that are within humanity and ego. Vanity, arguing, trying to be right, arrogance, in need of something to understand me and in need of something to love me. I have to let go of these aspects. In letting go of these aspects, the only thing that I come to is another level of understanding and another understanding of love. There's another aspect to jealousy. There's another aspect to insecurities. Every time you go up in these levels, they resemble, what do I want to improve most for me? So that's a good answer to the question. My abundance of knowledge. That ties into my journey personally. Like, my journey is basically based upon me understanding true prosperity and abundance is knowledge. Everything else trickles down from that. So the more knowledge that I acquire, the more prosperous I am, the more abundant I can become, because knowledge is the only true wealth. It's the only true prosperity. Because from knowledge, I can build everything. From knowledge, you build everything. You need knowledge I needed the knowledge in order to first build my YouTube channel. And then I needed knowledge to create the content for my YouTube channel. So I understand that knowledge is the key source for me to get anything that I need. Similar to creating a podcast, similar to creating a website, similar to creating everything that I create, I know I need more knowledge. More knowledge equates me stepping through the humanity and the humanity's fear and ego's appeasement. I don't do anything to appease ego. I don't do anything to appease ego, to appease fear. I don't do anything. I'm not a fear monger. That's a lower level entity shit. I'm not a fear monger. I'm not jealous of anything. I don't have insecurities. I don't have these things. Those are all things that were left locked away, dead in a box with my old self or my old selves. As I got to another level, as I rose to another space, more and more stuff fell off, and I put more and more into boxes. I put more of them shits into those fucking urns of the things that kept me tethered here. My understanding these circles of what tethers, me understanding those things ground me in my higher self. If I didn't understand my higher self, I would be drowning in the knowledge. I would be drowning in the misunderstanding of my true self. Two sides, same coin. I understand the dark side of the coin myself. I understand the light side of myself. I have duality in myself. So things that everything that I say, it has a term of duality to it. It has dual meanings. So what it means for one person is not going to mean for the other person. It depends on their level of interpretation of the light. What it resonates, what it brings out of them is always good. But since I speak in truth, whatever it comes out of somebody based on what they hear from me is going to be their truth. So if I have a conversation with somebody and they get upset and they tell me Jesus is Lord and all this other shit, that's their truth based on their belief and their understanding. All I can control is my reaction to it. I can either dive in and see, yeah, I went in on this motherfucker. They were trying to tell me Jesus is this, this, and this. And I gave him the history of Osiris and Haru. And I did this, this, and this. And I had him fucking wheeling for his life. That ain't nothing but my motherfucking ego. That's nothing but my motherfucking ego kicking in. I don't need my ego. I don't need my humanity. Man, old girl had a fat. Old girl said you was weird. I bet. I'll be weird. But in my reflection of someone calling me whatever they call me, on that level, it's needed for them to actually have, they need that counterbalance. They deem me as whatever they deem me in a negative sense. They need that in order to define themselves. The only way you lose your power is trying to define yourself based on somebody else's perception and understanding. That's how you lose your power. That's how you go into that state of anger. That's how you go into that state of being at the fucking world, because you're trying to define yourself to somebody that has their own definition and perception of what you are based on their understanding. I don't care what anybody says about me. Someone can say I'm the most rudest. The same people that call me a rude as fucking asshole love me to fucking death, because I'm always going to be coming from the standpoint of me being truthful to myself. Anything outside of that is not me. That would require me, that'll give me a state of being lost, and then I'll have a fear of not wanting to find out the real truth of myself. Distractions. Are you allowing these things to distract you? Or are you allowing these things to embrace you to make you something more? You're the power source. You're the magnet. You're all of us have that masculine and feminine aspect news. You're the magnet and you're the pole. You're the electricity and you're the pole and you're the magnet. You're the pole and the electricity. You're everything and nothing at the same time. You're not are a part. People want to be a part of shit. I don't want to be a part of anything. All I want to do is be a fly ass god, be a fly ass occultist, alchemist, do my thing, promote my shit, put this light out there. The ones that gravitate to it. The ones that don't, and go on to the next phase. Do all my work that I need to do, so when it comes time for me to transition, I ain't got no worries. That's all I'm trying to do. Anything outside of that is appeasing my ego. Appease my ego to something that's in reality going to come naturally anyway. The fuck do I look like? It doesn't really do anything for me. But the Toonie, I'm gonna ask you that same question. Where do you feel you are in your spiritual journey? Yeah, Tony, where do you feel you are in your personal journey? What do you want to improve most for yourself? That's the topic. It is hard. What people don't understand is in doing this work, it's very hard. And the main reason that it's so fucking hard is there is a level of expunging to understanding yourself that only you can do. We have to turn off the outside part of gaining information. As I said earlier, Phil Valentine broke it down in an interview. I'm simply a fucking guy pointing to another god or another goddess or whatever you're at. The only way that you can understand these things truly and it resonates with you and takes you to that level of yourself is literally unlocking that door to go to this space where this shit resonates the most. Where it resonates with you, that's where it hits you the hardest. That's where that chink, that's where that poke, that's where that break is. That's the break that you go through. 3 things are for certain. It's going to be great. The life of a spirit, the spiritual life is the lonely one, but it's lonely in the physical aspects of humanity. It's lonely in the physical aspects of ego. Because there's going to be times where in that same light where you're going to feel good for knowing it, and you're going to find a new love in yourself, a deeper love for yourself. It's going to challenge your compatibility with the ones around you or the environment that you're in. It's going to force you, just like anything forces you to grow, it's going to force you to shift yourself to a space where sometimes it's going to be solitude. So one thing is that's why I always talk about removing that unity aspect. You have to remove these aspects of humanity and human thought and caring in those thoughts in order to be able to see what you need to see. It takes a lot of power. It takes a lot of your strength. But the good thing about it is, the positive note about it is, you have that power. You are that infinite source of power. Just like knowledge is infinite, you're infinite. Your power is 2 and the same. Everything is everything. They're on the same conduit, 2 sides of the same coin. What you have to break away from as you remove your ego is your want or need to have to prove or get validation that you can use it at the mundane level. And as you go higher and higher into yourself, these are going to be new issues and new problems and new this and new that, and all this shit's going to happen. And you're going to be like, damn, man, why does shit keep happening to me? It's because you have to go through it. Everything that you're going through is going to take you. The one thought process in your mind should not be where you're going. It's the destination. It's the destination. It's the path. The path is the focus that you need to focus on. Because if you focusing on anything outside the path, you focused on anything outside of the path, you focused on, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to be this, and I'm going to be this, and I'm going to be this. That's already there. Everything that you're about to be, everything that you're going to come to, that's already in play. That's already written out there. You already chose that part. It's what you have to go through to get to it that's going to make that worth of getting to it. Like there's no worthier feeling to me that at the end of the fucking day that I know what I am. I know what I came from. I know the negatives and the positives, what served me, what didn't serve me, what fed upon me over and over and over again, and what no longer is feeding upon me. I know those things. And in me knowing those things, coming from that sense of knowing and no longer believing, it puts me in a mental position to be able to be more free with what I do and to say what I need to say and to move how I need to move, because I understand that it's doing what it's supposed to do. There's people in my life, there's people that were in my life before, like I reached to this level that I was dead fast on keeping around me. I've tried to be around them and nothing happens. The same old song and dance. They talking about bitches. They talking about bitches. They talking about fucking they talking about bitches. They talking about Jordans. They talking about sports teams. They talking about getting fucked up. They talking about the same shit over and over and over. Fucking. But since I'm open to that, I'm also open to the ones that are in those circles that don't fit into that space, and they ask me certain questions, or they're real aggressive with certain questions that they ask. And at first it can start as a fear, but then that's when my teaching comes in, and I'm strong enough to actually teach. I'm strong enough to actually speak on the level that I need to speak on, that it resonates with them. Either they're going to take it and they're going to move, they're going to shift away for good and out of my realm of existence, or they're going to shift away enough to actually be able to come back. It's a constant circle effect. Like I got a brother right now, his death date was Wednesday, and we're going to celebrate tomorrow. And he took hold to like small jewels I was giving him. And the reason I was able to give him more and more jewels, and I increased the dosage until it got to a part in his time with his life where his life reached that point, that pinnacle where it was breaking apart. And I was like, I said the realest shit that he needed to hear to learn. I didn't tell him something that he wanted to hear so he can listen and reply, but like, yeah, I needed that. I gave him some real shit he needed to hear. A couple months down the line, he opened up that gate. The conversing started again. Now it's building back on that. Now it's up to him to close this gate. It's up to him to close that gate. It's up to him to close that gap by taking heed to everything that I laid out, all the gems that I laid out along the way. And that's on his path. My path's different. Your path's different. Everybody listening is different. Everybody's path is on a different path. It's what you grab as you're going forward and how you apply it to yourself. So it takes away from the following aspect into studying. We shouldn't be following anyone. You don't need to follow anybody. You should be studying. You get to a level where you become equal. I don't want anybody to follow me because that means they'll never be equal to me. That means I will always be, in their mind, something about them on reflection will be, I'll be superior to them. I don't have an ego. Ego's dead. humanity's dead. Last, that's just dead. Me stepping into this 2020 now and understanding that you look at certain parts of knowledge and be like, spring ain't until March when Sirius rises. Okay, cool. Now that you have that information, even though everybody's talking about 2020, new year, new me, and all this shit, and they'll do that for these first couple months, instead of complaining and trying to debate about it, realize how far ahead you are. That's a shot to your ego. Because now your ego is going to be dead fast on you sitting here trying to tell everybody, new year don't start till this time. I don't give a fuck. You believe in what you believe based on your level of knowledge. That creates that gap. That creates our compatibility. That's how we got to, this is what critical thought truly is. We got to come at this shit in a motherfucking aspect of understanding they're on their side of the fucking table. I'm on my side of the fucking table. Hell, I'm at my fucking table. They're at they fucking table. I'm not eating at their fucking table. Their food, what they eat will not sustain my hunger. So why do I need to go over there and be like, oh, that shit's garbage? The fuck does that have to do with me? They eating what they eating and they're succumbing to what they're succumbing to based on their level of fucking knowledge and understanding of themselves. The only thing I'm worried about is the only thing that I put myself in thought process about is putting out the knowledge to the ones that need that shit at this level. The ones that are truly trying to become enlightened. The ones that are truly actually trying to raise the bar themselves. Everybody, nothing else fucking matters. No one else fucking matters outside of that. Because for myself, only thing I want is the abundance of knowledge and the ability to create and to create and go further. So everything that reflects around me are beings that want the same thing. And they're willing to go through the process. And that's where my teaching aspect comes in. I can teach the process. I can teach the methodology. I can give the reference points, whether it be another lecture, whether it be a book, whether it be a pamphlet, whatever it may be, I can give that. Through my years of building myself into this level in that time period, I'm divinely in tune to myself. So my shit get downloaded. So most of my day requires me to be in solitude to look at where the fuck I get this fucking information. Okay, I got this information. I know I can explain it. I know I understand it, but I give somebody else that I'm showing or I'm teaching or giving that light to a reference point that isn't at that level yet. And boom, the light bulb clicks. You do that enough times, you give that person enough information, you get a person enough fucking knowledge, and they start actually applying it, they start getting into that same download process. And now they in that download process. Now it's two entities streaming this information, that collective consciousness. Now they shift and raise the bar. Now they raise the level. Now all that shit that was below them don't fucking matter. Now you go from 1 to 2. It's that Hydra con. You cut off one head, so you cut off one head of ego and humanity, 2 more gods are dispersed. You cut off the heads of ego, 2 more heads of gods are going to emerge. All these mythos and all these stories, that's the type of shit that you get into to actually reading and getting into yourself deeper, because it opens your mind to have the ability to absorb all information. Reprogram you got to reboot your subconscious. You got to reboot that sub CPU. That way shit don't seem scary to your ass no fucking. And then you'll start seeing the ones that are fucking scared. And why are they fucking scared? They're a reflection of something. The reason that they can be shown to you is there a remnant of your old self of where you were at, and a moment for you either to teach or a moment for you to fucking learn. Either way, you're either teaching or learning, or you're learning or teaching. But as we always do, I give y'all that close out with everything. It starts sounding like a fucking podcast. Everything's running together. But $ Lucifer Somni is my cash app. $ capital L UICFER capital SAMDEI. That's my cash app. Drop something to show your support. Also support the God Hour podcast that we keep building on that. New episodes of that every Tuesday. At 6 a.m. I drop a new episode every Tuesday. Share, subscribe if you haven't subscribed, share. Let the knowledge do what it's supposed to do. Let's keep shifting this shit. Let's keep getting to the next level. Let's keep rising. Let's let this shit burn. And that's going to put that fire and that oxygen and that air we need under our fucking divine wings to take ourselves to the next fucking level. That sounded so fucking cheesy, but it makes fucking sense. I love you all. We love us as gods, as generator operators and destroyers. We're getting more into that androgyny. Let's fucking rise.